Lost in the dark.
We're back, people.
What up? What the fuck's going on, people?
Take it for me. Thank you. Needed that.
Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast, people. We are
sort of.
Yeah, kind of. I'm taking this because I know this is rough. And if you can't tell from the background and from everything, we are currently filming this on the day that we lost.
Or the day that we found out.
Yes. One of,
Yeah.
somebody that really, like, like when you, and I guess, like, my thing to kind of start with was, like, I'm going to kind of take it back when I'm, kind of round it out eventually. I, like, the other day, it was like, January 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was New
3
Year.
days ago.
Yeah, it was New Year, and it was, like, the first day I'd been back to work in, like, several weeks and stuff, like, close to a month. And I get in the car and I turn on the radio and just to kind of like have something going because like at the time it was like I was like I don't know, let me just like listen to something. So I turn on 106, right, the local radio station, and fucking Eruption is playing from Van Halen, right? And they were doing like this, they were doing like a year in review kind of deal, and they played like 2 or 3 of his songs in a row. I think it was like I don't know, just the big big songs off the first album, and like I remember like sitting there and just listening to it loud as shit, being like, fuck, man, like this, like what a legend, dude. Like what a guitar sound. Like just that, like, and even like in the other songs, that they played, it was very upfront. It was very like, there was a distinctive style and like it kind of like, it hits you in a way or whatever. And I don't know if it was just like the situation or the fact, but I was like, dude, like that's, just, that's epic. Like, there's something really crazy about that. And then today, fuck, man. Like, I didn't even really know where to start with this, but like, it is kind of very much the same thing, man. Like when I think of Burton, I think of Alexi's sound. Like the like Burton in itself is very heavy guitar driven. It's very like. It's very upfront. It's very like, it's very guitar centric band. And I feel like, just the impression that, and especially like, for being like the style of band that they were, for being like, cause I got into them around the time when, when I was getting into like Lamb of God and Devil Driver and all those bands, like early 2000s kind of going back and figuring out, cause like all these bands used to tour together and used to play, and it was just like, you'd see them on the same bill. And yeah, man, like, like we've seen them quite a few times. I mean, I know you more than I have, for sure. Like, without question, more than I have. But, like, the times that I have seen them, dude, like, it is, that like, that's one of the things that I guess I really wanted to kind of, like, start with and get into was, like, man, just the live show, the live sound, like, the way that, like, like it was just big, man. Like the energy of it. It was a fun show to watch. Like they were just a band that like just had constant like energy and constant like playing off each other and stuff. And Alexi for sure. Like even watching his solos and stuff and like
just magnetic.
Yeah, dude. Like you can't. I posted about earlier, but like man, like that's one of my most fond memories of just Mayhem Fest in general, dude. Is like. Seeing him in the fucking parking lot the last show before he went up to the main stage that year, and fucking I don't even know what I was doing. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I was like, I'm gonna fucking crowd surf. Like I'm gonna. So I did that, and I almost got dropped a few times, but I went all the way up front and stuff, and like got through it, and then I ran into you in the fucking pit.
Yeah.
Like. And we were just like, you and Preston.
Yeah, I remember
like,
that too, because Preston and I were like at the edge of the pit or something, and he was like, "Is that fucking Aaron crowd surfing?" I was like, "Oh my god!" yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, man, and that was I'm pretty sure that was the last time I ever remember doing that because, like, for one, I was like, it's in a parking lot and there's nothing but solid concrete and like I don't know, it just kind of I was like
Seen people get dropped out.
Yeah, like I've had a few close calls up to that point, and I was like, all right.
I've never crowd surfed.
Oh, dude, it's it's weird, man.
I bet.
Like it is.
It looks weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe it's just because of like, and you know, I obviously did it when I was like I weighed less than I do now, and I already don't weigh very much. You know, like I don't know, but like it's just a weird feeling, like being on top of everybody, like holding you up and like pushing you towards, like, you know, I don't know. It's a crazy experience, and it's one that like I'm like, all right, well, I've done that like 2 or 3 times, and I've been good. I haven't been dropped, so like it was, you know,
you've been lucky.
Yeah, I was like, all right, maybe quit while I'm ahead, I guess. But like, I don't know, it's kind of you know, bringing around, you know. Today it was, you know, with the news breaking and stuff, it's very heavy, man. And
I mean, for the record, like we were always gonna hang out tonight. We were gonna come together tonight and do a bunch of listen throughs and finalize our filthy 15 list, which we are still probably gonna record tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I was awake at trying to fall asleep at like somewhere around 5:15 in the morning, and popped on Facebook for a second. And it's funny because I've been I'm such a giant, massive fan of Bodum and Alexi, and now Bodum After Midnight, the new project. I've been following it so closely that lately, every single time I see Alexi in a post, like it's not like I'll usually like stop and like if it's an image I haven't necessarily seen before, or something like a new promo shot for the new band or something like that, I'll stop and like, ooh, maybe there's an announcement or whatever. But usually I just kind of keep going because, like, I'll just stop for a second. Ooh, it's Alexi. Be happy.
Yeah.
And then keep going because I see it so much. You know what I mean? I'm in fucking fan groups on Facebook and everything. Like, usually when I see a picture of Alexi, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then as I gave it a few spins, I noticed everything was Alexi.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's weird. So I stopped and noticed there was a bunch of the same, that black and white picture that's going around. And it was saying, rest in peace. And I, like, immediately went numb. Like, immediately, like, I didn't feel sad. It was just, like, a weird, really weird numbness. Like, I didn't know, like, what? Because you gotta understand, for me, so I get into metal mostly by the old guard, by Megadeth, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, stuff like that, Sabbath. Those and for a long time in high school or in middle school and high school, AC/DC, these were my bands, and I was like, they don't make music like this anymore. You know, I was kind of trying to be an elitist asshole. And then growing up, always had my own personal big 3. Like, growing up, I always had my own big 3, the ones that got me into the heavy side of things.
Yeah.
And that was Lamb of God, Devil Driver, and Children of Bodom. Without question. Those 3 bands mean more to me than almost any other band out there outside of maybe an Iron Maiden. And, like, those 3 bands I've listened to in the darkest fucking times. Like, they have gotten me through so much shit. They have given me so many wonderful memories to look back on, partying with my friends, going to see them with you and Preston and everybody. So many times. Like, so in this, like, since I was a really big fan of this kind of music, the first big loss that I can remember for me was Dime. And then it was Dio. And that one hit me really hard because I was such a massive fan.
Yeah. And
then, of course, there were a lot of others, you know, Chester, Paul.
That was one I was going to talk about.
You know, Kevin Dubrow, you know, there's been a ton of others that I'm not, Mitch.
Yeah.
There's been a ton of others that at the time just didn't hit me as hard because I wasn't as massive of a fan as I was of Dio, Dime, or now Alexi and Bodum. And this is like the first one where it's like, this is a band I grew up with. Like, they came out in 97. I found them in '05. So they only had like 2 or 3 albums out. I found them right at the beginning. Not the very beginning, granted, but right at the beginning. And I followed them since. And I never missed a Michigan date from the first time I saw them in October 2008 to the last time you and I saw them in March 2019. I saw them between 15 to 20 times in the course of 12 years. Because sometimes they would play, they'd have a headline show and then they'd be on Mayhem Fest, and that happened more than once.
Or just like Ozfest
or they'd have a headline show and then open for Lamb of God later that year, or something like that.
That's how I was saying. Like they're always, and like that's kind of why I got into those like selection of bands, because they always toured together. They're always
massive packages, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what this is gonna be. Hopefully, I mean, we didn't expect to be doing this tonight. This is completely unprepared. This is we should be preparing for the Filthy 15 right now, but I mean, this one's just kind of too big. We feel like we need to get it out somehow, and we just thought, what if we just turn on the mics?
Yeah.
So this is that. We're just gonna talk about Alexi and our memories and go over. I do have a couple things here, but to kick us off, man.
Hey, man.
To the real motherfucking hate crowd.
Fuck yeah.
God. I mean, to me, these will be constantly filled throughout the night, just so you people know.
Excuse me while I die.
I need this.
I choked to
death. To me, what Alexi's playing means to me, I guess I'll start here, is the same. You've heard me say it a million times. Anybody that's seen more than one episode of this show has heard me say it. I guarantee you. That's right. More Bodum. John Bachlan.
Yeah.
The former drummer of Devil Driver, current drummer of Bad Wolves. His work on Devil Driver is my favorite heavy metal drumming, like in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's because of these weird little just like fills, these weird little parts, these little movements that he does. Alexi Laiho is to me modern day Randy Rhoads. Alexi Laiho is my favorite metal guitarist of all time, and always will be. And that's one reason why, because of just this little shit that he just fucking throws in there. It's totally unexpected, but keeps it moving and so good and fresh.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything about him, just everything about, like, I was massively influenced first by Randy Rhoads, and then I found Bodum, and I was like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And then proceeded for the next 15 years to dominate the heavy metal guitar playing world. It's tons of accolades, dude. He's been awarded. He's done so many things. He changed the game. He completely changed, like, he had his own unique style from guitar playing to actual. I would be hard pressed to name for you a single other musician who I have ripped off more from. From the way I dress, like, all right, I'm gonna get embarrassing. Talk for a second.
Well, I guess I was gonna kind of.
This is off the cuff, people.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Well, I will say that there's kind of a reason why, because I found out, and I was looking for Bodum stuff that I had, and I realized I didn't have any, apparently, because I don't know, for one reason or another, I couldn't find any of it. So like well,
you have moved.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I don't know, just throughout the years, like you just kind of grow out of stuff as far as like, you know, shirt sizes and stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going through a lot of that right now.
Yeah. So the one that, like, I think one of the first big ones for me, and it was really kind of when I feel like it was like just shortly after I'd seen them, like it was just after like the newest record came out. I think maybe a little bit after. It was around my birthday. I remember it was like May sometime. But it was fucking Paul Gray. It was, you know, that was the biggest one that I like. When I heard that, like it's one of those that like I remember where I was. Like for a lot of people that's Dime. For a lot of them it's, you know, Dio, like much like yourself. Yeah. But for me, you know, I
remember where I was with Dime too, actually.
Yeah. Well, I was quite young when actually, yeah, when did that happen?
2001, I want to say,
yeah.
I believe.
So I wasn't
somewhere around there.
Yeah. I heard about it way after, so I wasn't like
Yeah. How old were you in 2001?
Fucking A.
You're pretty young, right?
I was like 7.
I was
7
11.
or 8.
So, yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, like so I heard the story about it, and I saw that like because there was like the behind the music thing that played all the time about Pantera. That's kind of how I found out about it. But like, you know, it was like I feel like Slipknot for me is like Bodum is for you in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yes. I agree with that.
Because like for me, you know, they were you know, just that band that kind of came out of nowhere and was like that.
Yeah.
Like I saw it and I was like, I want to do that.
Yes.
Like that is, you know, like there was a lot of the reason I picked up playing drums. It was a lot, you know, it's a lot of the reason I got into like playing metal, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. It's the reason but Alexi is the reason why I like the reason why my favorite guitar is the Randy Rhoads style guitar.
Yeah.
Like it's seeing him play his cemented it for me. I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
yeah. So yeah, and you know, and when that and this is even a little bit different than that in some ways, because it is kind of really like, you know, not to get too deep into it, but it is kind of like, you know, because Bodum already separated, and we knew that.
Yes.
Going into
it was a year ago now.
Yeah. And that was and why I don't really remember why that was, as far as like they just kind of
just
faded out really.
Yeah.
And then they were, you know, it was like talks of like starting this new thing of, you know, with the Bodum After Midnight, kind of keeping still the same like heart of it. You know, and like both of us really, I think we're pretty excited about that going into things. Like I really think that you know, as far as like comebacks, as far as like, you know, just like new stuff to look forward to for the year, like that was a big one that like as soon as that came up, and as you know, once they were talking about like releasing stuff for the next year, I was like, you know,
I was excited about it in a lot of different ways. Like for the first time to hear Alexi, like, what's he gonna do now? Is it gonna sound like Bodum, or is he gonna go a different direction? Like I was really, it still am. But hang on, I did find this. Like, God, this is embarrassing. And I'm gonna show it to the camera. But this is, keep in mind, this is also 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
This is how I dressed 11 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, I
That's
mean,
straight up. Yeah.
Are you joking me?
So we're between like Axl Rose and Alexi, man.
And
like...
that was always, that's kind of where I was gonna go, is that's the thing that I kind of, because I loved, you know, Guns and Twisted Sister and Skid Row and Poison and stuff like that, as well as Cannibal and Slayer and all that.
Yeah.
So, but Alexi kind of, his influences, I remember very early on finding out his influences were Wasp and Skid Row and Poison, a lot of hair metal and stuff like that. So like I immediately recognized kind of what he was doing. Like, you're taking that style and just making it more fucking black, you know, and just making it more like modern metal, really. Like, you're borrowing elements from that, you know what I mean? You're evolving it. He's evolving it. He's making something new, which is what we do. Like, and so that's another reason why I always just gravitated towards them so heavily, is because I knew like that was their influences. They were one of, and now, you know, and we joke about it, but of course it's a good thing. But like they were one of the last like real like, you know, like party bands, you know what I mean? Like, and I always loved that about them. And
yeah, they definitely, I don't know.
Let gonna fucking show these to the camera just so I can be
They like
severely embarrassed for the rest of my life.
as far as
11 years ago, people. See if you can see this.
hey, we've all made mistakes like this. I have plenty of them, so then I'll probably show it one time or another.
I don't know if it,
Oh yeah.
there it is. Yep.
Look at this. Look at this next picture. Tell me that isn't it? Yeah.
11 years ago. I even have a Bodum shirt on.
I think I had that same one.
Wait, what year
Actually.
is this from?
Probably Blood Drunk era. So
Oh,
like
nice. No, it's Hell.
yeah.
That's the Hellhounds
Yeah.
on My Trail tour shirt
Yeah.
from the Blood Drunk show. That would have been the second time I ever saw them, which was opening for Lamb of God at the Fillmore.
Damn.
Yep. Let's look at this for a second.
Yeah. This is something I need to start doing. Like I have like
This is my ticket book. You can get these on Amazon. Specialty Albums Inc. ticket album. It just says ticket album on it. It's literally specially designed holsters for like tickets. Let's find. There's just a couple that I want to show. I have a lot of Bodum tickets. There's one signed by Dino. I wonder who that's signed by. Oh wait. Yeah, I do wonder who that's signed by. Huh. There's a Hatebreed one in there. Signed by somebody. There it is. Nope. There it is. Yeah. Two on the same page. Sorry. Right here. At a venue. Shout out to our people from Michigan. Our old schoolers from Michigan might remember this venue. See if I can get a shot. There it is.
Clutch Cargoes, man.
Clutch Cargoes in Pontiac, Michigan. Saturday, October 4th, 2008. It's the same year that I graduated high school. And then I saw them, looks like about 4 or 5, 6 months later at the intersection in Grand Rapids in 2009. And then, hold on, there's 2 more that I want to, maybe 3 more that I really want to show. There's one from the intersection in 2012. There, this was the one. This was the one before they came back just a couple months later, the same year actually it was the next month on Mayhem Festival. It's at the intersection in Grand Rapids with a mono.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I remember that.
2013. Intersection in Grand Rapids, a monomorph.
I think that was one of the ones I was like,
I
don't know.
think you went. I don't remember.
yeah, I was quite young at the time, as far as like being able to go to shows regularly.
But then, what is this? What?
Oh, set list, set times.
No, it's at Times.
Oh yeah,
Almost
that was
printed them out for that year.
that was the Mayhem Fest that I was talking about.
2013. Let's go through this.
Yeah.
Main stage: Rob Zombie,
Yep.
5 Finger Death Punch, Mastodon, and a monomorph.
Yeah.
MI stage headlining Children of fucking Bodom. I'll get it back in a minute. Sorry everybody. Born of Osiris, Motionless in White, Attica 7, and Thrown into Exile. The Jägermeister stage had Machine Head, Job for a Cowboy, Butchered Babies, Battlecross, and Huntress.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. That year was one of the last like really solid years that they had. I remember.
And it And
I think
it
that
was
I think that was the first time I saw Rob Zombie live too.
It was also that year that Preston and I met Children of Bodom in their booth, and they were kind enough to sign our tickets.
I remember that.
So that is Children of Bodom's signature right there. That's unbelievable.
Didn't you? Well, no, that was Mastodon, but didn't you like kind of like get into that by accident?
Yeah, we thought they were just giving away free drinks,
Yeah.
like Mayhem drinks, like Rockstar drinks.
Yeah.
And
Which I think they
we
were
just ended
anyway.
up in line meeting Mastodon.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Got a free poster and shit. It was dope.
Yeah.
Here's one from 2014 at St. Andrews Hall.
That was I'm trying to remember when I saw him first.
It's a good question. I think it might have been that one, actually. I think it might.
because I saw him.
It would make sense. It would make sense if it was that one at least. I'm not sure.
I feel like I saw him at least once or twice before the Mayhem Fest.
Well, oh yeah.
Because I remember
that would have been the first time, at least.
I think I remember seeing him on the Halo Blood tour. I don't remember who else was on that, but I remember that being. It wasn't that with Wolfheart.
No,
that was that
more recent.
Yeah.
I saw him do Halo of Blood. I saw him the Halo of Blood tour. I fucking want to say that one was in Detroit for some reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't. So you didn't go to that one, but you're saying you saw him before Mayhem. Well, the last time I saw, what was that?
I guess I feel like I did.
That right here. Maybe it was this one, the 2012 Children of Bodom at the intersection. Maybe.
Possibly.
But that's it for this one. And then there's one more that I want to show, which is hold that up. Grab that. Show them that.
Man.
This is when Aaron and I went VIP to see Hex. We got this signed poster.
I have the same.
He has the same one.
As the flag as well.
Yep. I always keep my VIP badges in the front.
Yeah, I got that somewhere too.
With the Hatebreed one.
Yeah.
And then in this book, let's see.
By the way, do you remember what the name of the company is that does these meet and greet things?
Something?
Soundwave,
something like that.
Yeah,
Sound Rink.
Yeah, Sound Rink. Yeah,
Sound Rink?
Yeah. I have a couple of lanyards from them. If you have any real reservations as far as doing meet and greet stuff, if you ever see that name on anything, it is
good company.
They really go above and beyond as far as the meet and greet stuff.
They're fantastic.
We've done one for Bodom, like we're talking about, and then we did another one for Hatebreed that was at Harpo's, which was fucking incredible. Full on picture, full on signing kind of deal, and then just I don't know, it's, a lot of times I guess it depends on the venue, but really a lot of times it you can hang out with a band, do all that kind of stuff, get a bunch of other stuff signed, and just kind of go back and forth thing, and
it's really not that much.
Yeah,
they don't gouge you.
Yeah, and a lot of times you get a lot of merch stuff. You get a lot of extra T-shirts. Yeah, that was that. I got that Hatebreed one. It came with
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
the tote. You can go look at a past episode and see the tote on as well. But actually, no. We actually did do the Hatebreed one, or the Children of Bodom one first before the Hatebreed one.
Yeah.
The last time we saw Children of Bodom was when we did the meet and greet at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit, Michigan on March 18th, 2019.
Yep. So that would have been
the last time we saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they opened. They fucking opened with Are You Dead Yet? Who opens? Oh my God! How do you open with "Are You Dead Yet"?
I gotta find that. I guess maybe that. No, because that was Hex. Never mind. I was thinking maybe that would have been Halo Blood.
No, that was the Hex tour. Speaking of which, I just want to make sure I'm right about this real quick. Hold on. Halo of Blood. I Worship Chaos and Hex. Okay, that's the one I was forgetting about. Yeah. Halo of Blood's a great album. But yeah, man, he just had his whole own thing, that was so hands down my favorite modern metal guitar player, one of my favorite vocalists and frontmen of all time, and the first one because with the old guard, with the old, I love Dio, I love Ozzy, I love Maiden, I love Priest, I love all these guys, but I wasn't around for the beginning.
Yeah.
And when I just started getting into them, and now, of course, I realize maybe I need to switch that in my head now that I'm actually reflecting on it for the first time. But when I first started getting into them, everybody that was older than me told me, oh, their new stuff sucks. you know, like they're not good anymore. The original members aren't in it, blah, 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 this and that. So I always felt like I was coming in, you know, at the end or, you know, just not there from the start. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I finally got these bands from the start, like Bodom, Devil Driver, Parkway, Lamb of God, fucking, you know, all Dahlia, no, not Cannibal. But like these bands, I have so much. I feel so much closer to, because I feel like I was there from the beginning. Because now I know people that didn't discover them until 10 years after I did, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, just like everybody was to me. I'm not a dick about it. I'm like, oh, their new stuff sucks, like
Yeah.
everybody was to me. But it's that connection and
Yeah.
that following that has gone on for so long, and you feel like you witnessed more of an evolution than you did now. You know, with the old guard, now I'm seeing them from the tail end of their evolution, and now they're just, everybody's trying to sound like they used to, you know, or something like that, which is fine. I'm fine with that, but quite frankly, but it's you know, that's not a dig or anything, but Hatebreed is another one. You know, like these are bands that like I was there for as close to the start as I possibly could have been, and it was within the first 5 to 10 years for pretty much all these bands. So, you
That's
know,
sorta,
and I'm talking about from inception, not first album.
That's sort of how I feel about Dahlia
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So like this is the first for me in my little like world of the things that I'm a fan of. This is the first one of the things that I feel connected to in that way, where somebody fucking died.
Yeah.
Like somebody's gone. I'm never going to see Alexi live again. And I don't know how to like wrap my head around that. And I still don't. Like I'm still like in shock. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You know, partly because we just went through a fucking year of no concerts, like all this stuff building up inside, and like for the idea that for concerts to come back and Alexi not be a part of that, like,
Yeah.
I felt like I said earlier, like I found out the news and I felt numb. And then I tried to sleep. I had shitty sleep, and I eventually like just said fuck it and got up at around like 1 or 2. And keep in mind, I don't think I fell asleep at all until like 6 or 7 after that, because I just couldn't. I just didn't know. I couldn't like imagine. Like I can't. Like it's still hard. And then earlier I had to go out. I had to go up to the grocery store and the liquor store. And I had Bodom playing, and I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. Like I just like it came out of nowhere. Like I didn't feel it swell up or anything like that. It was just like midway through a song, "Are You Dead Yet?" And I came to a stop sign, and it just hit. And
yeah. I truthfully I had that a bit earlier too. Like you know, because it's just something that like, you know, like what you just, you know, you're never prepared. And it was kind of the same way, like, you know,
prepared at all.
I don't want to keep like calling back to other things that have happened, but I guess my only real way to relate to the feeling of it is to kind of like think back to other times that this has sort of happened. And it was kind of how I felt about like Mitch from Suicide Silence that you mentioned. Like that was another big one for me, and kind of in the same way. Like, you know, it was kind of for the first time that I was like, I felt like you know, very, very similar. Like I felt like I had kind of seen it from the beginning, and kind of like, you know, like I was into like the big like deathcore scene when it was like, you know, when they were gigantic, and I never, you know, unfortunately I never got a chance to see them and stuff, and that's something that like just kind of bums me out still. But like, you know, like it just, you know, like you just. Like you know, even listening to it earlier, like there was I follow I don't know, I'm sure you do too, J Hoff Films.
I don't recognize that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I do recognize it, but I don't know if I follow it.
They do a lot of like metal parodies and stuff. They do a lot of like you know like how to kind of like jokey videos and stuff. The one dude is like a thrash head. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
he's got like
I love him.
Yeah. He was doing a live stream and I caught the last end of it, and I don't remember what the tagline of it was, but he was kind of sitting there and like it was about Bodum, really. It was like some like tribute stream or something like that, and like I caught it when he was doing like a moment of silence thing, and dude, like just fucking, that's when it kind of hit me. Like I was like, you know, it really, I don't know, it just
like to me, like for people that were around when the term Big Four came, because think about it, like we still got, I'm pretty sure everybody from Anthrax, everybody but Cliff from Metallica, everybody but Jeff from Slayer. Who am I forgetting? Oh yeah, Megadeth. And I mean, Megadeth changes, but much. But
and that was even a close call this year.
Yeah, Dave had cancer. Yeah.
You know.
So it's like we still got them though. Yeah, Slayer's retired. You know. Yeah. Say what you know. Some people say what they will about Metallica. I still love them. I still love Anthrax, and I love all of them.
Yeah.
But
this one,
for me, like my big three from in my head of my era, like it's one of them. Like it's not just now. It's not because, like you said earlier, like Bodum, that was no more a year ago.
Yeah.
But now we had something new to look forward to, and ultimately we follow the artists, not necessarily the band.
Right.
Bodum was completely disbanded. There was no more Children of Bodum. As far as we knew at this point in time, the rest of the members were not going to continue under that flag.
Yeah.
So Bodum After Midnight was all we were going to have, and that was Alexi. So, but we were going to still have something, and like always with bands, always potential for a reunion.
Sure. And
now it's like all of that's gone.
It is really the most like Pantera that we've seen in
oh my god,
a long time, man. Like,
oh my
and it
god.
just kind of hit me really too. Like, and I was trying to think because like a lot of the stuff I was talking about was like, you know, eventually they got new members. Eventually they got, you know, they moved on. They put out new releases to whatever reception, to whatever happened, but they still continued on. And like, this is kind of the first that it's like, it's really kind like, I'm sure,
over.
Yeah,
it's just,
I'm sure the other members of the band will go on to, like, you know, make something else, I'm sure.
And I will follow it.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong.
But I mean, you can't deny the fact that Alexi was was Bodum. Like,
it's already almost impossible and almost never been done to replace just a lead singer.
Yeah.
Like, there's only maybe been 2 or 3 times in metal history that it's ever worked.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
To the point where they were still as successful in putting out as killer of records.
Yeah.
But to replace not just a singer, but a singer, songwriter, lead guitarist, and frontman. I watched this motherfucker.
You have one of the craziest stories I've ever heard about it.
This
honestly.
motherfucker is the most metal motherfucker, because that's the thing. That was the other thing that always differentiated Alexi and Bodum to me from Lamb of God and Devil Driver.
Yeah.
Is that the frontmen in Lamb of God and Devil Driver are outspoken, not really metalheads. They like metal, but Randy's more of a punk hardcore guy, and Dez he's punk hardcore, but he's also kind of like got that new metal thing. He's got country. He's not, Alexi was straight fucking metal.
Yeah.
And
like the spirit of like the the really good like guitar driven 80s hair metal bands.
Every aspect.
Yeah.
But yet reforming it, and not only reforming it, but adding elements of classical and of black metal, of every genre.
Yeah.
Like to create something totally unique. They had, you know what? Just like son of a bitch. Just like fucking, maybe slightly to a lesser degree, but AC/DC, Cannibal, Slayer, Hatebreed, signature sound, Bodum.
Yeah.
Signature fucking sound, dude. You get 3 seconds into a Bodum song, and if you know Bodum, you know that's Bodum.
Yeah. Oh.
You need 3 seconds.
1000%.
3 seconds max.
Yeah.
Like it's
what it is for me is and it was kind of what gravitated me towards them, because like I'd never heard a guitar band like a guitar player and a keyboard player like go off each other so much. Like the back and forth on some of their albums and some of their songs is just like, and even live, dude. They'll do like free like freestyle duels live, but then they'll actually put duels in the songs. Yeah.
That are insane.
Yeah.
And the keyboards, the way that's what I always loved, because a lot of bands, like, you know, if you're going to use the keyboards and the synth or whatever, it's big and orchestraic, like Dimmu or something like that.
Yeah.
But they used it, in the beginning, up until around...
I'd say like Follow the Reaper, maybe.
No.
I guess I don't really know what you're talking about. But.
It kind of... There was a slight shift that began on Blood Drunk, but then it really came out to me on Halo of Blood, where they started kind of writing the keyboards in as, instead of a lead instrument to go along with the guitar, they kind of started writing it more as a percussion instrument to almost go with the drums a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I thought both worked so well.
Yeah.
I really loved both of them. But what I was going to say, real quick, shot.
Hey, gotta happen.
To Alexi.
To the real fucking hate crew that y'all are watching, man. God. Cheers.
I saw this motherfucker. This motherfucker is so metal that when I saw them play, I think it was 2009. Because when I looked it up earlier. I was trying to look it up to make sure I get this right. I think it was 2009 when I saw them play at the Fillmore. It was with Municipal Waste, and then I think it was Bodum, and I think it was As I Lay Dying, and then Lamb of God.
Fucking A.
The night, like a night or two before.
That is a big four show, man. Like...
It was huge. It was insane.
Honestly.
That would have been one of the legs of the Wrath tour, I believe.
Damn.
And
that must have been the same year they played Mayhem Fest too. Okay.
Like it was like the night or two before, Alexi had like fallen out of his bunk and hurt himself on the bus, and I believe he broke his collarbone.
I remember that.
He came out and played the Lamb of God show at the Fillmore in Detroit, and he was taking his guitar and fucking flicking it around his entire body, catching it, and then continuing to solo. Still. With a broken bone.
Yeah.
And then the next night they had to cancel, probably because he hurt himself so bad on stage that night. It was, and I will, like, that's something I watched this man
That's badass.
Destroy
Yeah.
with a broken bone.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you know anything about how technical their music is and how much it, like, how heavy it is on, like, just him in general, like how much he carries a lot of the songs, like that is insane. The fact that, like, you know, I don't know a lot of other guitarists that could do that.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see the members of Children of Bodom plus Daniel Freiberg, because he really was pretty important for the last few years. And him and Alexi became very close. I
That was
would,
their original guitar player.
no, he's the new one.
Okay.
He's the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
one.
Oh, right. Yeah. He was on Hexed.
Yeah.
That's right.
I would love to see him plus the original members do an Alexi Laiho tribute album and just get different singers and guitar players of everybody. Get Randy, get Dez,
Yeah.
get my fucking get, oh my god, get Jasta. Like, my fucking news feed has been nothing but Alexi Laiho for the past 24 hours from all the musicians I follow and like so many people that I didn't even realize had a connection to Alexi do.
Yeah.
And
Same.
And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even like realize that.
Yeah.
Like
The one that really kind of stopped me was Randy's post about his tattoo
Randy
and
Bly.
stuff.
Oh
And,
yeah, I've always known he got. I think he got, like, they show him getting that in a DVD or something.
Yeah.
Something. There's something
Yeah.
out there where he talks about it or something. Like, yeah, Randy's all like Randy and yeah, that's that one. I'm glad you sent that to me when you did today, because when I woke up this morning, I was like, the two people that I want to hear the most from, that I feel like their words might be able to help me right now, is Randy and Jasta.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from Jasta yet, but or and the other one, another reason why I will always love this man, Sam Dunn, Metal or Banger TV.
Yeah.
I know how much he loved Bodum. Like us, in many of the videos you see Sam Dunn in the Banger Hanger, you will see a Children of Bodum somewhere in the background.
It is. Yeah, I
Children
have
of Bodum
noticed
logo.
that. Yeah.
And if you go back to our original crypt, covered in my old Bodum shirts,
I remember.
and
Yeah.
there's even some still upstairs right now. And when we get into the new permanent crypt, there will be an entire shrine dedicated to this amazing band and this amazing man. I need to go buy his book. I don't have his book. He has a book that I've not read.
Oh yeah, I feel like I saw that earlier when I was looking for stuff.
Yeah. I definitely need a copy of that, because I badly because that's one of that's another thing about them. And maybe that's why in the last few years I feel just as always, and if not more so, connected to their music. But I feel more connected to certain members of like Lamb of God or Devil Driver as individuals, not necessarily the music, but the individuals in the same way.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I've dove so hard into podcasts. It's eaten into a lot of the time that I used to listen to music, and Randy and Dez and Mark and John Campbell and John Bachlan, they're on podcasts from time to time. So I get to hear from, I've never heard Alexi on a podcast that I'm aware of. Maybe there's an old Jasta one that came out before I got in, but or something, maybe in the archive somewhere. Maybe there's something with Sam Dunn that we haven't seen. Or I feel like there's got to be something. They had to have.
Yeah.
So, like, there's got to be something out there we haven't seen.
Yeah.
But that's a big that's another big thing for me, is it's like, man, I wish I just heard more. Like, and not in a fucking, because everything we can find, it's always fucking, okay. That's why like the making of or the behind the scenes videos are the best, because everything else is just a fucking interview. You could tell when people are in interview mode, and they're just, it's not the same as just conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get as, give me a fucking 2.5 hour episode with Alexi fucking Laiho. You know what I mean? Like,
that was kind of something that I came across earlier when I was looking at stuff, is like, he really did, and that was, what I remember even saying that to you, as far as like because I kind of feel like he's, and this is the type of situation where like it was kept very close to the chest, like it was kept very, and like,
yes.
to me, I like, with whatever's happening, like I don't have any problem with that. And honestly, I think that that's quite like it's quite admirable as far as.
Well, I don't know if we said this yet. I literally can't remember if we said it before we started recording or not. But I know we said at the beginning. Today is the day that we found out he passed.
Yeah. Oh,
And
right. Yeah. No, we haven't.
According to some of the articles, he passed away last week.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I'd like to. I mean, just to know, you know, if did he get to celebrate New Year's? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just I mean I'm just fucking so like it hurts, man. It hurts. In the past month, Aaron has sprained his wrist and I've sprained my foot. This hurts worse.
Yeah. This is kind of something else.
And
like
I just want to, because I've always just loved him so much. I'm just so like I do feel it's almost like it makes it hurt worse though. But like I do feel unbelievably fortunate to have seen them, to have been as big of a fan as I am, seen them as many times as I did, and in seeing them, I actually got to meet the man twice.
Yeah.
Like both times I was a bumbling idiot. I never got to say what I wanted to say to him. I was just so starstruck. I fucking love you, man. Like I didn't know what else to say. Because to me, like that's like, because that's what people maybe like in my head, like, and I know it's not like this to them or anything, you know, but in my head, man, like Alexi, Randy, Dez, no different than Ozzy, Bruce, and Dio or Rob.
Yeah.
Like, they're on that same, they mean the same to me. Like, they're on the same fucking level. They are fucking gods. They are the fucking ones that changed, they are the ones that have gotten me through shit. Like, they just mean everything to me. Like, I think I made a joke to you like a couple weeks ago. I was driving, can't remember who I was listening to. There's someone fucking heavy though. I can't remember who I was listening to, but I remember where I was. I remember I was making a left-hand turn, and I had this thought of I might not ever love a human again as much as I love heavy metal, as much as I love music. Like music is everything.
Yeah.
Like it's the universal language. It's like it means so much to us, and for this to be the first time. I'm 30 years old, man. Like, this is the first time I'm experiencing a musician that I feel like I, like, grew up with. And I never get to see him again. Like, it still doesn't make sense to me. The last time any sort of celebrity death hit this hard, and it wasn't a musician, was Harold Ramis. Egon from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of how much that movie means to me. And the idea that like I'd never get to see him do anything again, like I just couldn't wrap my mind. And I sobbed. That one hit me really hard because that's pre-metal.
Yeah,
that's childhood. You know, he's like a Peter Pan to me. And yeah, like but this one, man, I like. This is like waking up and finding out Joss is gone, or Randy, or Mark Morton, or Corey Taylor. You know what I mean? It just I can't imagine a world without that person because they mean so much to me. And I dude, okay, just so everybody knows, as you can see, we have these up right now. Of course, this. After we're done doing this, I'm putting this back where it goes, which is behind the TV in my bedroom. The first thing I see when I wake up every day is this fucking poster. And that is above my bed to my left. And guess what? I have another one signed by only Alexi on the wall to the right. Exact same poster framed. I'm surrounded every single day I wake up. Some of the first thoughts that go through my head are Children of Bodom, Iron Maiden, Hatebreed. Like, they're all on my walls. Ozzy. Like, all on my walls. Every fucking day I wake up, I think about these people. I listen to their music every day. I hear them on podcasts every day. Like, they are a part of our lives. Like, as the super fans, the fucking dorks that we are, like, they're a giant part of our lives. And I remember, look, man, y'all can go back and fucking watch. No, you can't. Never mind, because they weren't on video. But you know,
I do have pictures of the old crypt. I should post.
Well, no, those are on Instagram.
Yeah.
Those are on Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
But and on Facebook. But no, what I was gonna say is the only time the last time I felt this, like, I mean, not this way, but as close to feeling this way, is when Kevin Smith had a heart attack. And because
I could see that.
Because without Children of Bodom and without Kevin Smith, this podcast never exists. Plain and simple. And when Kevin Smith had a heart attack, you know, I was fucking knocking on 300 pounds at the age of like 26. And what he went through, and then when he started vegan, I will never go vegan. That's where I draw the line. But he did start the intermittent fasting, cutting out the sugar, no more pop, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I did all that, a few years later, I'm sitting here at 100. I walk around at 150 pounds. You know what I mean? That's how that affected me.
Good for you, man.
I mean,
honestly.
I mean, I it is awesome because I feel so much better than I ever have.
Yeah.
But that is what effect that had on me. And so that's how that manifested. And I don't know how this is going to manifest yet. But what I do know is that, and I mean, this was kind of already a thing because of this fucking insane year we just lived through. But it's like, never miss a concert.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, you are never allowed to miss a show you want to see again. You are never allowed to, like, any chance you get to meet these people, meet them, shake their hand, tell them what they mean to you. Actually, stop being a bumbling idiot and tell them what they mean to you. Because you might not get that opportunity again. And I had that opportunity twice and I blew it both times. And I've emulated Alexi Laiho probably more than any other musician that I can think of. More than Axl. I've never, like, outside of like trying to sing like them, I've never emulated anyone in actual style, like actual look. Like, I want to look like Alexi. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I can see that too.
And it's like a superhero outfit. It's like a uniform you put on, and even on days where it's like I go a different route or something. Like, I remember, dude, like 3 days ago, I was standing in the fucking grocery store in pretty much the same outfit I'm in now, and I remember looking down at myself and being like, oh shit, I look like Alexi Laiho today. That's fucking awesome. Like, it's that, like, that's how much I loved him. Like, I love him. Like, always will love him. Like, he will always be, like, one of my absolute heroes. He's the reason why I own one of the guitars that I own, and I will one day own one of his guitars. I have a box of his guitar strings I need to string up that guitar with, for Christ's sake. I'm trying to use his very guitar strings. I'll never forget when I remember where I was when I learned how to play Are You Dead Yet in Your Face in Lake Bodom. I remember the first time I hit that do 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 And like the first time I actually got my fingers to do it, I went, oh, like
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what that's like.
Oh my god, dude, it was so amazing. Like,
No.
and yeah, man. And then the fact that, like, because for me, I know you said your gateway album was I think you said Blood Drunk.
Yeah.
Mine was the one before Blood Drunk, Are You Dead Yet? And for the last time for us to see them, for them to open the show with Are You Dead Yet and In Your Face was
that was sick.
that was very special.
Yeah. And to kind of call back to that, I did look up the set list for that show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So this is St. Andrew's Hall, March 18, 2019. It was Are You Dead Yet? Under Grass and Clover.
Oh, okay.
In Your Face. This Road, because this is when Hex just came out.
Yep.
Boredom Beach Terror.
Oh.
Every Time I Die.
Oh.
Also really sick band, but that's not what we're talking about. Platitudes and Barren Words. We're Not Gonna Fail. I Worship Chaos. A lot of new songs, like a lot of like newer stuff out the last couple records. I Worship Chaos. 6 Pounder. Angels Don't Kill. If You Want Peace, Prepare for War. And the encore was Hate Me and Downfall.
2 things real quick. First of all, lots of newer tracks, yes, because the last time they played the United States was the 20th anniversary tour. So that was most of the tracks. A.
Yeah.
And B,
Yeah.
what was the second to last one? Prepare for...
If You Want Peace, Prepare for War.
If You Want Peace, Prepare for War.
Yeah.
That was the first time they ever played that
Oh,
in
yeah.
the United States.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the United States.
That was crazy.
And I will tell you this.
I love that song.
One time I saw them at the intersection was the first time they had ever played Lake Bodom in the United States. So I actually saw them play 2 songs in my, I guess you could call it tenure of seeing them live. I got to see them play 2 songs for the first time in the United States, which
Wow.
that's insane to me. That is, oh my God. And 2 of my favorite songs by them, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
2 of my absolute favorite songs by them.
Bangers.
The
Staples, really.
The riff in Lake Bodom is one of my favorite. Like, absolutely one of my favorites of all time. Like, I'll never. Oh my God! Here's a story. Cheers. Cheers to the children of fucking Bodom and Alexi Laiho. Because this story involves you. It's part of our origin story. I've told you this before. Probably told this on the podcast before. But
I don't remember right now. But I probably will when you tell me.
when I worked at ACO, at one point in time, ACO Hardware in Frandor in Lansing, Michigan. It's now called Great Lakes Ace. Check it out. It's a hardware store.
Probably not in your state if you're watching this out.
Probably not. Well, Ace probably is.
Yeah.
Which eventually you worked there too.
Yeah.
Which
because
is crazy.
of you. Yeah.
But there was a point in time when I worked there, where there was a guy that at that point in time I was living at my parents' house, and there was a guy that lived a few blocks away from me who at one point in time, or not at one point in time, he went to high school with me.
Yeah.
But I think he was like a year ahead of me or something.
Mm.
And then we ended up working at ACO together, and then we just ended up having one of the same classes at LCC together, Lansing Community College, where I went before Michigan State. And so we had one of the same classes. Guess what the class was? Rock and roll history.
Fuck yeah.
I saw that on the register. I was like, yeah. Are you shitting me?
Was that Mike Daniels?
No.
No?
The class I had with Mike Daniels was band management.
Okay, so this is a different story then. Never mind.
But it's close.
Yeah. I don't know if you're talking about the same person, but he used to work at ACO, so probably not. Anyway.
So in this guy's name, he was another fucking he liked some heavy music, but he was kind of more of like I don't know. like maybe like a Led Zeppelin kind of guy sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he still had like long hair and stuff, like long blonde hair. And so I was like, all right, another fucking guy with long hair. All right. So I would occasionally give him rides with me to class because he just lived around the block.
Yeah.
To rock and roll history, and
I wish I would have taken that class. I wish they offered that class.
Right. And now I'm a pretty hardcore metalhead at this point. So I'm someone who sits in the back of the class.
I always did.
In the back corner farthest away from the door, typically is what I go for.
Yep.
Now, on this particular day, on the way to class, and Derek was someone who I didn't mind punishing a little bit. So I would always, if I'm giving him a ride to class, Cannibal needs to be on the radio. That particular day, it was Children of fucking Bodom. And it was, I believe it was the album, their first album, Something Wild. Yeah. And now I sit in the back. I like to sit in the back of the class. Derek never really sat next to me. He always kind of like went to the front.
Yeah.
So he does his thing, and then I try to get that back corner, but someone's already fucking sitting there. This motherfucker. This fucking short hair motherfucker doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So I sit down.
I know what you mean.
And
That's why I'm laughing, because
and then the fucking teacher goes, all right, start off today. We're going to go around. And if you listened to music on the way to class today, I want you to tell us what it was.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, Derek's in the front. And he didn't know what the fuck we were listening to. So we get about 4 people in. And then he looks back at me. What were we listening to? I was like, I can't remember. Let me get the track. I'll remember the track if I see it. Give me 4 seconds. I already have it pulled up. No, you fucked me. Here we go. Right there. Nope. That wasn't it. Wait, maybe it was. Hold on. Let me check. Actually, it was either Lake Bodom. Yeah, actually, I think it was Lake Bodom. It was okay. No, it was either Lake Bodom off Something Wild or You're Better Off Dead off Hate Crew Death Row. I know for a fact it was one of those 2 songs.
Okay.
And I said it, and he goes, "Okay, that." And then the fucking short hair next to me leans over and goes, "Dude, I fucking love that album."
No shit. That's awesome.
The short hair was Sisto.
Yeah. Yup. I thought you were getting to that. Yeah.
Your former lead singer.
Yeah.
Who then, that was the first time we talked.
Yep.
Was because of Children of Bodom.
Yeah.
And then it turns out I left rock and roll history, immediately went to band management with Michael Douglas. Sister was also in that class.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to know each other, and that's how you and I got to know each other. So if not for that random occurrence, because of Children of Bodom, I happened to be listening to it that day, giving that random guy I don't even know anymore a ride to fucking work. Do we ever even meet?
I don't know.
No!
I really don't know. Yeah.
I just put that together.
By the way, Mike Daniels, not Michael Douglas.
Did I say Michael Douglas?
You did.
Oh, God.
but still.
Shot time.
To your point, yeah, man. Like, and honestly, like, I didn't think that was the story you were gonna tell. I thought it happened somewhere else. Like,
Nope.
I just thought you guys like hung out in like band management. I didn't know that's
That's how
Yeah, man.
Sisto first ever talked to me, and then we continued to talk from time to time, and then our classes ended, and then I didn't hear from him for like months.
Yeah.
And then randomly I get a text from him one night, and he's like, "Hey, me and my guitarist, you want to come over and hang out? We got something we want to talk to you about." I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds fine, whatever. And that's when they asked me to like be like the fucking like I want you to be the roadie, but if you could learn to be like a guitar tech or something like that too, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of like started learning stuff about that, but pretty much just ended up being their roadie and film guy, and merch guy.
Yeah.
But
I
then
don't know, I remember like coming over and like you were hanging out and I was like I remember
who
like
fucks
talking about
this guy?
I remember like the first thing we talked about was Cannibal. And I
Really?
was because you had that show. I was like, oh, like sick shirt, whatever. It was like, yeah, you ever seen him or whatever? And I was like, no, but I remember like one of the things I said to you was like I remember hearing like because like at the time I'd never seen him before. And I remember one of the things I said was like, oh, like I heard that like everybody that leaves their show is like all bloody and stuff. And you were like, yeah, like it gets that way sometimes, but like, most of, like the last couple of shows I've seen, and just like, yeah, man, like.
And then let me ask you something. Does it end up that the first time you see Cannibal is with me? Is that what happened? I don't remember. Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I fucking love you. I fucking love you. Man.
We go way back, man. Love you too, bro. Like we fucking, like that's what I mean. Like music, like Bodum.
This is one of the ones that brought us together. Like I'm sure that I fucking just convinced you to go to the first Bodum show, and then it just blew you away.
Well, and I even kind of remember like running into you at like Mayhem Fest the one year that Whitechapel was playing when I first got there, and you were like, "Whoa, hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah." We just ran, we just ran into each other one year, yeah. And then like the next year, I think was the big year where like the biggest group I've ever went, and you were with us. That was so
fun.
To this day has never been the only time. The closest I've ever gotten to that was. What, just last year or 2 years ago, Slipknot Roadshow with you and like Bog Wraith.
Oh man, we went deep into that show.
Oh, dude.
It was us. It wasn't no Preston.
No, I don't think
that was Slayer. I'm getting him confused with Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like Mike, Alex is with us.
And like a couple other your buddies that I don't really know, but I've seen at a bunch of your shows.
Yeah,
like,
their first the singer that they had who I knew, Brian from Aphotic, was there.
Oh shit.
We were like standing right next to him and stuff. I didn't really talk to him too much. But yeah, dude, yeah, like
that's the closest I've gotten to that since then.
Yeah.
With like a group, like just losing our fucking shit, dude.
Yeah. I honestly, like, because I've been, and not to kind of like deter too far away from what we're talking about, but like I've been on a pretty big Slipknot kick lately, as you can probably tell. mostly like first album Iowa stuff. Like really, that's for whatever reason. Like I just started jamming their first record the other day, and I was like just super into it. Like it's been getting me like.
I've been on kind of like a. I've been on a Slipknot / Corey Taylor kick.
Yeah. Just
because mainly he was recently on an episode of Burtcast. And so it's one of my favorite comedy podcasts crossing over with the metal world. Yeah. And I didn't even know Burt was a fan of Slipknot.
Yeah. I didn't either.
Like that crossover.
That's
made
insane.
me. I love it when my worlds collide.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
I love that so much. And that's why I love. That's the reason why I love Dean Delray. Yeah, I love that.
So I like, in kind of the way that like this is, and at the time really like, like the Slipknot situation with Paul really is kind of the same, because there was this, and more so recently it wasn't until like a few days ago that I realized that like, I think I mentioned like the Rev from Avenged, like, in like passing, it might have come on, but like it was like 11 years the other day that like he had passed, and like I just started talking about him and stuff, and like that was definitely another one to me that like, that really like they were, and it's and I don't know if this is where I was going with it, but this is where I'm ending up with it. Like when you get the news, when you get like, because like at the time to me, like it was when like because All Hope Is Gone just came out, or it either just came out or had been out for a little while, and I had just seen them. I was very like, I almost didn't get the chance to, but I was very lucky to have caught like the All Hope Is Gone era Slipknot. Because that to me is like I almost wish I would have I still have the tour T-shirt from that. Like that is one that I really wish that I would have like taking a little more pictures from. But I was so, and like we were in the nosebleeds at the time.
What the fuck
and
year
like,
was that?
that was 2009, dude.
Yeah, we didn't have fucking phones
Yeah.
that could take those
Yeah,
pictures
man.
back then. Like, come on.
Like, yeah.
11 years ago. Like, the fucking, when I go back and look at pictures from my phone 11 years ago, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. This is.
It was, yeah. But it was at a time when, like, you know, like it was the prime, dude. Like it was fucking like, you know, it was just after like the newest record had come out. It was like, you know, they were at their peak basically, like as far as band and stuff. And like, I don't know, like it's just like this one is very different in that sense, because it's like we still have and like up until today, like I had, and admittedly, and I was saying this to you, and I don't know if this is where I was going with it, but like I was saying this earlier, like I hadn't really gone back and listened to a lot of their music in a while because of like everything that come out during the year, everything that like,
I mean, honestly, neither have I, like, recently, because we're on this fucking kick of the podcast and we got to keep up with everything new.
Yeah.
Because we want to do our Filthy 15 list at the end of the year. So unless you come out with something new, which we were lucky enough that they did during the life of this podcast, and we got to talk about the album Hexed on a Dark Reflections, and we got to talk about that show we went to on an episode of the podcast, because that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this podcast used to be. You know, we were like, we're so fortunate to have at least been able to do that.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
like it's never an easy thing, because no matter what, it's like the band as an entity is really never going to be the same. And this is kind of, and that was kind of why we're kind of related it to Pantera in a way, because
Pantera never
they
was
are
again.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bodum ever will be either.
Yeah, it is. It's very, and I don't really know how you could go on.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. We don't have any other Alexis.
Yeah.
We don't have any other Dimes.
Yeah.
You know.
Can I tell you, like, the one thing I was kind of like, you know, like it really kind of like solidified in me the fact that like Alexi was really a force, man. Like it wasn't until I started watching some of the Stockholm fucking chaos ridden years, man. It wasn't until I started watching some of this earlier that I kind of recognized like there were full on moments where they would like improv stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
And it was a whole live setting. It was a whole live show that happened, and like, you know, whenever we saw them, it kind of like they didn't do as much of that, but I felt like it was very loose. Like it was very like, let's just like put on, like, let's just have a fucking party, you know. Let's just like, it was that kind of energy to me. And like, you know, like, and even like there were some points in that live performance that like, you know, they would what was it? It was I can't remember what the name of the song was, but there's that keyboard part, and then there's a point where they like go into like several different songs. Like he starts playing Holy Diver at one point.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's just like an in between. And then they go into fucking like My Heart Will Go On and stuff. Yeah.
Like there's just
exactly what you're talking about.
There's just that like there's that element of Bodum that was always like, as far as live goes, that was always like, just like let's just fucking party, like let's just have fun, you know. And like that was always one of the things that I walked away from their show feeling like it was they were just up there just having the fucking time of their lives, man.
It even kind of felt like, you know, whether, you know, I don't know if it was or not, but a lot of it definitely felt straight up improv, straight up like the keyboardist being like, how can I fuck with everybody right now? Like, what can I play that's gonna catch them off guard, and what's Alexi gonna say about it? Like,
yeah, there's a part in this documentary or this DVD where they start roasting hot dogs on stage.
Yeah.
And then they go into it. It's the funniest shit ever. And it's like, you know, like, but then they go into a song and it's like just like, I don't know, man. Like you don't. it's so rare that you get that out of a live show.
Yeah.
And what's like, I guess, you know, maybe to kind of get into some like, you know, like 2021 stuff. Like that is something I'm kind of looking forward to as far as like bands coming back and really just trying different stuff and like bringing the live experience back. Because to me, Bodum did it better than, you know, as far as keeping that energy up and as far as like just making it just fun, man. Like I hadn't seen a band that was like, you know, that just had that kind of spirit in a long time, because it was all, I mean, you know, given like aside from like, you know, because there's like you know, I would, and I guess maybe like the closest I could call is like Dahlia, because their live show is very,
that's a good pull.
Yeah, as far as like their live show, it's very like, you know, like back and forth, very like crowd participation, very like, you know, very like these are the songs you want to hear, and these are like, you know, this is our style, but let's kind of like make it like a whole experience and make it like a whole big, like, you know, just like party basically.
Yeah.
And like they were, man, like I wish that I would have had the chance to see him when I was like into him, as far as like Blood Drunk, as far as like, you know, Are You Dead Yet kind of style. Like, because that is one of the things that like just not only because like, and I feel like we've talked about it where you've seen both Dahlia and Bodum together playing Nocturnal and Blood Drunk.
They opened the Blood Drunk. The first show I ever saw of Bodum, Dahlia opened.
Yeah.
At Clutch Cargo's in 2008.
Yeah. That was
Dahlia opened that.
I was trying to remember if that was the show you were talking
Dahlia
about.
opened that shit. 100%.
Like,
Trevor had his shirt off.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, and that was, you know, and same thing. Like, dude, when I first started really paying attention to him, this was the big record. And at the time, Nocturnal was a big album. Like you know, and it was around that time where like, and Sacrament even that falls in line with Sacrament.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You know, like I just like fuck.
And
man.
I feel like that falls in line with what would have
Last
been?
Kind Words.
Last Kind Words. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. How did you? Thank you.
Because I was thinking about other things that come out around that time, and we were talking about Devil Driver a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like just, you know, but and at the same time, I always felt like Bodum was a band that were, although they were very prolific as far as their songwriting and as far as like as far as, you know, Alexi just being the guitarist that he is, like just being very like, you know, just
virtuoso.
Yeah, man. They wrote songs. Yeah, like they were one of those bands that I felt like never really fully got the kind of recognition that I felt like they deserved. Like,
and I agree with that.
And at the same time, like they, you know, you know, like with the bands that I was talking about at the same time that they came out, like they always kept their signature sound and they always kept their things that made them who they are. But I always felt like they were kind of overshadowed because, like, to me when I was getting into Bodum, it was, you know, kind of to call back to what I was saying, I guess I was a bit more into like, you know, Dahlia, and I was a bit more into Lamb of God, and I was a bit more into like, you know, the kind of heavier stuff. But it was like there was never I never felt like they were like slouches on it. Like I never felt like I always really enjoyed listening to Bodum because they had a very specific, you know, kind of sound and kind of style that nobody else really had, and it was very, I don't know.
There was a point in time where my favorite, if people were gonna give me control of YouTube at the party, it was gonna be Are You Dead Yet?
Yeah.
Redneck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What are you thinking?
The one from Dahlia, not off Nocturnal.
Oh.
No, not Ever Black. The one before. Wait, maybe Nocturnal.
Horrible Night to Have a Curse.
Horrible Night to Have a Curse.
Yeah.
Yes, Horrible Night to Have a Curse. And Revolution Begins, Arch Enemy.
Ooh.
Because that came out around the same time too.
Yeah.
And of course
record.
Clouds Over California.
Yeah. Honestly, like a lot of this same, like those were very like, as soon as I heard those, I was like, fuck yeah. Like this is, I'm into this.
My bands.
Yeah.
These are my bands.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what the fuck I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I
mean,
mean,
like as far as like not to get too far off track, but as far as like the first like big, like real shift, like, and really real like last taste of like Headbangers Ball that I got was Black Dahlia, and it was Horrible Night to Have a Curse. It was the video. I remember seeing it, and I was like, same thing with Slipknot. I was like, that. Like, let me do that. Like, and I'm sure like.
And that's how I felt about Bodum.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm sure there were points where like, you saw videos and you just and admittedly, like, and it was like, and we were kind of texting back and forth all day, really. And it was like, I remember saying like you really are kind of the one that kind of got me like rejuvenated with Bodum, with like just being into him, because without like you being like as into him as you are, without like those shows coming out, I don't know if I would be as into him as I am. Like there was just they're a band that I feel like is very special to me for a lot of different reasons, and that's kind of one of them. Like, like we've seen them a lot of times, and
a bunch of times.
Yeah, and
together.
Yeah, and every time that we've seen them, it's been something incredible.
At least 4 times together.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah.
Minimum, for sure. I mean, there's even one time where it was just me and Preston. We were going out to see him in Grand Rapids, and we drove through a construction zone. And my car got a flat fucking tire.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had to switch the tire.
That was
and
that show.
We still made the fucking show.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing stopping us from seeing Bodum, baby.
Yeah.
Like, there was even one time where I was about to go fucking alone, and like these two like kind of like loose. When you're younger, you have kind of loose friends where they're not, you don't really talk to them anymore, or whatever.
Sure.
And I like went with them, and I think that was the time they played Lake Bodum, and it was at the intersection. It might also have been the first time I saw them, because at that point in time, my favorite album by them was Are You Dead Yet? Probably still is, but. The first like 3 or 4 times I'd seen them, they didn't play they played In Your Face, but they didn't play Are You Dead Yet? And I was waiting for that one, and I'm pretty sure the first time I saw them play it was the same night I saw them play Lake Bodum for the first time at the intersection. I know for a fact Lake Bodum was at the intersection, and I'll never forget that, man. There's so many of the shows that I will just never. The first one, never forget that show.
I'm jealous of the fact that you got to see him on that tour with Amon Amarth, and
it was Amon
others.
Amarth, LUVT,
yeah,
however you pronounce that,
LUVT,
and there was somebody else.
Wasn't that the Mayhem Fest?
Yeah, that was the Mayhem Fest. Yeah.
It might have been Huntress.
Might have been. Can't remember.
Who was also another one.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You know who else was at that show? Battlecross.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking Battlecross.
They were on that Mayhem
I
Fest.
met Gumby and got a CD signed by him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fucking Battlecross was there. Force fed your life. Like, oh, dude. Oh, I love Battlecross. They're supposed to be coming back.
Hopefully, maybe we'll see a this year release from them.
But man,
well, we've been going at this about hour and a half.
Which is like I anticipated a half hour, but I should have known that was bullshit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's been a little while since we've done an episode. But
it's just.
Yeah.
We've never done anything like this before. This is maybe like the lowest energy I've ever had on a podcast because what fell? Oh, because I just don't know like how it's still day one, people. It's still day one. We just found out about this. I still don't know in the long run the effect that this is going to have on me. And I know like this is my like Jesus.
Damn
Sorry, I keep doing that.
I keep trying to set it up.
This is like my first one that I feel this close to.
It's personal.
It's so like, yeah, like and then not only that, but seeing so many other musicians that I love so much react the way they have. It just it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. But it also like, it's like, oh God, like why do we have to be doing this today? Why and that's another thing is we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We
It was
are
very sudden.
we are 99% like, I mean, based on, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. But based on the things that I've read, it wasn't it was some sort of illness. It wasn't a overdose, it wasn't a suicide, it wasn't anything like that. It was a fucking I think it was I think he had some kind of disease. That's my guess right now. Some kind of cancer, a blood disease.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I also respect the family and friends to keep everything like we said. According to the articles we've read, he's been gone since last week, and we're just finding out about it now. And I just have the utmost respect for everybody close to him, and everybody else, all of the people like us, all of the fans that are going through the same thing we're going through right now.
Yeah.
We're hey, we're in this together, and no matter fucking what, we are the real motherfucking hate crew, and we know that because we're feeling the way we feel right now about our fucking god, like our fucking guitar god, the Wildchild. And that's the like, where the fuck you think I got my name?
Yes,
there is an Iron Maiden song named Wrathchild.
Yeah.
But when I found that out, and then I knew Alexi's nickname, I was like, I'm the Wrathchild.
Yeah. I figured that.
Like that, dude. He's influenced me in that intensely to where, like, if I ever had a stage name, it would be Wrathchild, and that's from him. Like, that's from him, and the fact that I love Iron Maiden the way I do. Like, like I said earlier, I don't think I can name another single musician that influenced me in as many ways as he has. From the instrument I love to play, from trying to mimic his vocals, from trying to copy his style, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because I love him. Like, I love him. Like, he's my hero. He's my idol. Like, Alexi is just one of, to me, Dio, Ozzy, he's right up there. And
100%.
Man, like, this is 41. I didn't know he was only 11 years older than me.
That's crazy.
79. And I was born in 89. So really 10 years. But he was probably born in a different time of the year, so, But, God, man. Like, this is... I certainly did not expect this to start off 2021.
No, not at all. And that was kind of why I started this off the way that I did, because honestly, like, when I heard that, I kind of felt like, all right, like, like this is pretty epic. Like, it's kind of a tribute thing, and like, I guess I didn't really think much of it. And like, I hate the thought and the concept of like the threes. You know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean?
Like,
it comes in threes?
Yeah.
Don't.
Which is something I don't even forget I said that, because that's something I don't even want to put out into the universe. But yeah, in the realest of ways, yeah, So yeah, like this one just kind of like really hit me in a pretty significant way, man. Like, I just like it's like losing a friend,
Yeah,
it's like,
it really,
and
it really
admittedly,
does feel that way.
I have been at this point again. I have been very, very fortunate in my life to have never, and I don't know how,
even through fucking, everything everybody's gone through in the last year.
Yeah,
and I have been fortunate.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to not have to have
things hit close to home.
Yeah,
or at least like. It's gotten to the point where they have hit close, but not in as bad of a ways as they could.
Yeah.
So
And this is kind of really the first one that was like, fuck, man.
This fucked me up.
Yeah.
This fucked me up so hard. Like, I still can't. This is day one. It's gonna take me a few days to wrap my head around the fact that I'm never gonna get to see him live again. I'm never gonna get to, apparently, I thought they were done with the album. Apparently, they only got 3 songs recorded for the new Bodom After Midnight album, and they did record 1 music video. And apparently, those will be still released.
It's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
So.
Yeah.
So
potentially
we should have a little bit more Alexi.
Yeah.
After this, but the idea that it'll never be again, it's like Randy. This has got to be how people felt when Randy Rhoads died, when Cliff Burton died. Like I'm never gonna hear that again. Like I don't. It's so hard for me to I'm still like, this is the very beginning of the processing. Like I still don't know how this is going to affect me, but yeah, like, I mean, like I said, on top of the year we just had and the fact that we haven't been able to go to concerts or be social or anything like that, it's been manifesting in me in very weird ways that I never expected. So now I'm dealing with that on top of now this, and how is this going to manifest itself when the last time something hit this close to home, I lost 150 pounds. What the fuck am I going to do next? Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, shit's hitting me weird lately. But this one, even if we had a normal year, even if 2020 was like every other year, this would still be as devastating as it is to me, honestly, because this man means so fucking much to me. Like, I just wish I had hugged him. Like, gave him a hug or something. Like, just said something more to let him know what he means to me. Like, anything. Like, I had the opportunity. But
well, it happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
That's what they say.
Like you couldn't. I don't know, because I've been honestly like to like kind of, I don't know, and whatever. Fuck it. Like as far as like, like the existential whatever. Like, I like there is something to like, looking at situations and being like, well, that was how it was supposed to happen. Like that was, you know what I mean? Like I was.
Well, that's the other thing is that's part of the reason why I'd like to know what happened.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be like intrusive in anybody's privacy or anything like that, but like, this is one of my gods. Like what? Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
It's all that's all. And
what? It's very sudden too.
It feels that way. It certainly feels that way. And at the end of the day, in a sense, it's actually just I'm feeling this for the first time right now. This is in a sense a call to action, if you will. This is the truest activation ever of the Hate Crew, and it's up to us, the people that loved him the way we do, to keep him alive for generation after generation, for people to remember him the way I remember Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads died before I was ever alive, and neither of my parents were into metal. Neither of them introduced me to that. But yet I still love Randy Rhoads the way I do. Yeah. So it's not even up to your, like, it's not even necessarily if you're a parent. It's just do everything you can to keep his legacy alive forever. Because I mean, honestly, to me, like you said earlier, like I never thought they got the fucking recognition they deserved either until now.
Yeah.
And now it's up to us to make him what's a good analogy? Heavy metal Van Gogh? Van Gogh never realized his success when he was alive. Everybody hated him when he was alive. Everybody loved Alexi when he was alive, but like let's make him bigger than he ever was now in his honor, and to keep the music, what it means to us, like to let the name Laiho be forever associated with heavy metal guitar in the same way Rhodes is.
Yeah. They're truly
In the same way Hendrix or Van Halen.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, I really kind of view him
or Dimebag.
Him and his style, just in general, just as something that was very unique and it was very like trailblazing in a way, because like they were kind of one of the first bands that I got into that kind of had that like the energy of like that 80s style, but that also had that like just aggression to it, you know what I mean? That just really fucking cool, like just energy. And like, and that was kind of what I was saying about like their live show, man. Like half of it is really just seeing them live and just being in, like, I don't know, like I think that's kind of lost in a way, and I feel like there's
the funness.
Yeah. And they brought a lot of that into, at a time when, like, there were, like, a lot of other, and, like, I don't know. As far as, like heavier bands, like, heavier styles go, like, yeah, but they always stuck to what they were good at. And they always play, and, like, it was, and like, they were always one of those bands that I never really was, like, disappointed when I heard what they were, like their next release, or that it was always like, oh fuck yeah, like it's always like tried and true, man. Like they were always one of those bands that like anytime they put anything out, it was like fuck yeah.
Like, I just remembered another story. I remember the year that Mayhem Fest got announced.
Mm-hmm.
I was at ACO.
Yeah. Oh dude, yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember that too.
I was sneaking.
I was sitting in class, dude.
Now, this was like the front of the store was set up completely different. When you first started, do you remember like the key machine in the corner?
Yeah.
In the front, as soon as you walk into the left?
It was in the back. It was in the back when I was there.
Well, for me, it was like right, like the second you walk in the door, immediately right there to the left in that corner. And there was like walls up around it.
Yeah.
And so I knew I could go in there and sneak text.
Yeah.
And I was texting you, dude, Mayhem Fest, Children of Bodom's there, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just remembered that.
That was the year that Amon Amarth headline,
Yes,
weren't they?
yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking
They were
about
on
that.
the main stage,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was trying to remember if that
2013,
was-
I think.
Yeah.
God, dude, so many amazing memories with them. Car breaks down on the way to one of their shows. Got to meet them at 2 of their shows. Like, the Mayhem festivals,
Yeah.
just, God, dude. Like, talk about a band that yeah. I've never met Devil Driver or Lamb of God or any members. I have a few signed things from Lamb of God, but
Yeah.
I've never met them. I've met Children of Bodom twice.
I was lucky, and like it was just brief, but I was lucky enough to meet Randy at Mayhem Fest,
Oh my God.
and Josta as well. But it was very like brief, and I didn't.
I did meet Josta once. I can't say that.
Yeah, I didn't at the time, like it wasn't as significant, man.
Fair enough.
Like at the time, I didn't appreciate it as much as I did, and like really, if nothing else, this like. In a very big way, this kind of solidifies, like, just like the appreciation of just those moments, just the appreciation of the time when, like, when you just like, I mean, I don't know, like there's there's a fine there's a fine line between being a Punisher and being just a genuine fan and somebody that wants to like. And I always find I always find it really hard to like walk that tightrope.
Yes,
but
it is a tightrope.
But I will say that like, there's been times when and I'm sure you could say this with Alexi as well. Like there's been times when like, you find yourself in positions where like you want to just say everything that you're thinking and just everything that like just to like all the times when like just their music just pulled you out of everything. Like it's the same thing with like Trevor for me. It's the same thing with like a bunch of different drummers. It's the same thing with like just anybody that I've been like just influential. Like it's the reason that like I wish that, and kind of the same story calling back to Mayhem Fest, but it's like Mayhem was the only time when I was able to like I had one chance to meet Joey Jordison, and I fucked it because I was watching another band and I couldn't get over there at the time, and I thought that at the time it wasn't even possible to get into the meet and greet line.
Right. Yeah.
Like it was, and it was like it's little moments like that where like when you had and like I'm really gonna try going into like the future to really try to remind myself of this because
when concerts can come fucking back.
Yeah. Like
we're gonna be harder.
Yeah, and
ever.
Yeah, even just going to shows, man. Like I look at it differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's an experience. It's a time when like when anything could fucking happen. Like like I even think of like times that like we've either been to shows or I played shows where like I haven't really like fully taken advantage of the situation in a positive way though.
Yeah.
And like I really feel like with all this happening and with because we've like I don't know if this is the heaviest it's been since all of that as far as like losing somebody.
For me, since we haven't been able to go to shows.
Yeah. But
this is
but I could say that like if nothing else, like this really kind of
like I've almost been working all year to prepare myself for losing Ozzy.
Yo, for real? Like that's
and now we get Alexi.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, I was gonna say we've been going at this about an hour and a half. I don't know if you want to like what you thinking, if you got anything else to say, like
I mean I'm sure I do that I'm not remembering right now, which is probably a good thing for right now.
For recording sake.
Just that he was my favorite guitarist, man.
Yeah.
He was my favorite guitarist, one of my favorite frontmen. I would say the only band I may have there are two bands I may have seen as many times, probably not more though, than Children of Bodom, and those bands are Hatebreed and Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two bands I can think of I've seen that many times.
Oh, Lamb of God.
Not even Lamb of God, I don't think, because they didn't tour as much as Bodom. Like Bodom.
That's fair.
Bodom would fucking, do
Your
little
road dogs.
tours.
Yeah.
Do like Hatebreed and like Dahlia.
Yeah.
Like so. I think, Children of Bodom is definitely in the top 3 bands I've seen the most live in my life, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not missed a show in Michigan since 2008. So for 12 years, I've seen them in between 15 and 20 times. I figured it out earlier. It was like 17 or 18 or something like that.
Which is crazy because I don't think I've ever seen a single band that much.
I just
in my life.
I had to see them every time. Like I just there's something about them. Even if like there were times where I was like, it was like I was like, fuck everybody. Even if I have to go alone, I'm going to this. And then like at the last minute, somebody would buy a ticket or something. But yeah, like that's greatest guitarist of all time. We lost a fucking legend. We lost the fucking wild child. We lost the guitar god. I'm so sad that there's so many things we'll never get to see him do. Like, he'll never be able to guest on a Lamb of God album or vice versa. You know, things like that I would have always loved to see. I mean, for the past fucking 15 years, he's been one of my absolute top metal idols. Like, this is, you know, yeah, it's up there with, for me, it's up there with Ozzy and Dio. It's also up there with Axl, Randy, Dez. Like, I you know, Lamb of God less so because they just don't tour as much or release as much as Devil Driver and Bodum. But the idea of never being able to see any of them live again or hear their voices again on a track, like, it just, I can't, like, it's too soon. Like, it's not, I can't, yeah, I still can't wrap my head around it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I've never, it's just weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I can think of right now. It's
been a long day of trying to process it, really.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's all we've really ended up doing today. Is like trying to,
yeah, I know.
How the fuck do we?
Yeah, I know. At least I've spent a good majority of it just listening to their old stuff and just listening to, like, just anything that, like, you know, that I was really into from them, and, like, just seeing live, mostly live performances for me.
Yeah,
like,
me too. That's where I go.
Yeah.
Is the live performances. Yeah.
Because it really is, because, like, I don't know, like, given a lot of the live stuff that they have is very, like, you know, because they were kind of sauced on stage. A lot of it's very, like, you know, but it has that, like, personality.
Mm-hmm.
It has that, like, just that real, like, you know, kind of sort of improv, like as far as, like, you know, like, just being able, like, but the songs and the energy is always there.
And they're one of the bands, especially in the recent years, where they would change their set list every night.
Yeah, that was always cool.
So that was another thing.
Yeah,
like,
whenever we saw them, it was always, like, just something different.
We didn't know what if we looked it up, we didn't know what they were going to play that night.
Yeah, and that was one of the big, like, takeaways from the 20-year anniversary show was, like, they played a different set every night, which is, like, you know, that's, like, to me, that's something that, you know, like, is very, like, you can't do that unless you have reached a certain level where, like, you just have so much that's just rock solid, you know.
Of not just that, but also raw fucking talent.
Yeah.
To just be able to play these songs.
Yeah.
Like,
that was what I was saying about, like, just a lot of the improv stuff they would do in a lot of, like, the you know, like, but then they would go into the actual song and it would just be like, how did you, like, just to be able to connect those two together, like, just the straight up musicianship of that band is so underrated to me.
I agree.
Mostly, you know, and a lot of it is to do with Alexi, and as far as, like, just his, like, he just had a way of, like, commanding just anything, like, as far as their stage show, like in a different way that maybe, like, Randy had, or maybe that, like, you know, like,
Randy's like a lion and Alexi was like a panther.
Yeah, and a lot, you know, like, it was the same aggression, but it was in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, like, so.
But both so elegant.
Yeah. Oh, just very tasteful, very, like, you know.
I hate. It's hard for me to wrap this up right now because I feel like I want to wrap it up on, like,
there's
something big, but, like, I just don't have.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the words yet. Like, I haven't processed it enough yet. And that's why I'm almost glad we're doing this now. Like, I'm glad we've done this. I feel a little bit better to get all this out. And because you're pretty much one of the only people I can talk to about this, because you're one of the only people in my life who would understand this. And so I'm glad this exists.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely, yeah, I know there's so much more I want to express,
Yeah.
but hang it. Well, we'll wrap it up in a second, but hang on.
You want more?
No.
No. Much more to come. Cheers, brother.
To Bodum after midnight. I got a little surprise to end us on.
Oh, shit. You're going to ruin me?
It's to Lexi, bro. It's to Alexi. And I'm sure real motherfucking hate crew knows. Alexi liked his Jaeger.
Yo. Yeah.
As most metalheads do.
Well, let me pause for a second. Let me walk away.
Go ahead. I will take a minute.
Yeah.
I will speak for a minute. Hold on, everybody. This is a little... I'm going to spill. Hold on 1 second, everybody. There we go. All right. I don't know what to say, really. I'm recording. You're going to see this after if you follow us on social media, but I haven't really made even a post about it yet. I'm going to after this episode wraps up. I've assembled I went through one of my hard drives. I went through my phone to find some old photographs and footage of when I saw them live. I'm going to post that with some words that I've been trying to find all day. And this is a really tough one for me, guys. I mean, he really meant a lot to me. Means a lot to me. And never won't, you know? Like I'll always I'll always want to be Alexi, you know. He was that one for me. Everything about him was just the coolest to me. And it's one of my heroes, man. One of my idols. Gone way too soon. 41. So way too soon. But tonight, I hope that in some way, shape, or form, we honored his legacy.
I was gonna see if you wanted to maybe take like a moment of silence, kind of deal.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't. I don't. No. Cause what I don't. Where did that even come from? I don't know what the moment of silence even means.
Well, it's really just reflection, you know, like.
You know what?
How
long did you say we've been doing this?
What? Oh, well, now it's about 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
According to that, yeah.
Is there a counter?
Yeah.
Where?
It's at the bottom.
Shit! Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Wow, this is like a full-length episode.
Yeah.
I'd rather a moment of Bodum.
Okay.
Like we're 2 hours in. I doubt we're gonna get copyrighted. Like, but. God.
Well, let's.
I would almost. Can you hold on? I know this is a kind of a big ask, but can you pull up that one part in this during that just one part? You know what I mean? The one that I said earlier, they don't usually play live. At least I've only seen it like a couple times live. If you can do that part in particular, that would be the perfect way. That would be the perfect ode. Tonight, I feel the only thing we can take solace in is tonight we know Alexi dines with Oden. And maybe one day we'll meet again. Maybe death isn't the end. It's all we can hope for.
Battery low. Please charge now. Connected to Galaxy S10 and Burton's iPhone.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Right, go.
So with that, you want to close it out?
I'll close it after this.
All right.
Let's just do this because this is about to die.
Are you the real motherfucking head clown? That's what the next is gonna be called. Race to death roll.
No fucking bottom, man. That's true.
Do the fucking other part though. Do the middle part. Do the middle part. There it is.
Solo.
Oh no! No, it's this. It's this. Put it up to your fucking thing. That's on me. That's on me. I'm so sorry, everybody. Put it back like 10 seconds. I'm so sorry. Got it.
With a red crew, we stand, we will fall. We are for none and not for all. Fuck yeah, we'll fight out the last chance. And we sure as hell, let's see no shit on the radio. With a red crew, that is right. We are for none and not for all. Fuck yeah, we'll fight out the last chance. And we Bitch, you fucking hate crowd. Swear to fucking God, man. I just gotta tell you that this song is truly result from a shitload of fucking alcohol, 3 broken bones, fucking black eye and bunch of stitches. Are you dead? Yes!
Alright. You gotta stop or it's gonna go all night.
YouTube, please, just give us this one,
Give
man.
us this one.
Like,
this
come
is a
on.
fucking. We're just trying to give an ode to a god. Oh my god, that was. We are the hate crew. We stand and we will never fall. That is what. And you want to know. You are the real motherfucking Crypt Crew! Like, where do you think that came from, dude?
It's all inspired, man.
It's
where it comes from. Like,
is-
and I guess I would like to close out with saying, you know, like, thank you, children of Bodom. Thank you, Alexi, wherever you are. Like, you
he's
know,
in the halls of Valhalla.
yeah. Sincerely, like, it is. This one hit me different today, man. Like, and kind of to your point, man. Like, it was kind of one of the first ones that in a long time that I felt like I really had like a strong connection with, and just somebody that like just lived it, man. Like, just one of the real true legends of like modern metal, like.
By far. He lived more than most of us ever will. And to me, the greatest metal guitar player in modern history. One of the absolute greatest bands in modern metal history. Set the stage, changed the game. He was the wild child. They to me, every single aspect of this band was just nothing but awesome. And they never live, they always delivered. They never disappointed. And I don't know yet what a world looks like without Alexi Laiho. I don't know what it looks like yet. And I'm a little scared to be in it, quite frankly. Like, he's such a big influence to me. Like,
Yeah. This came as such
So-
a shock too. Like,
so now I just kind of in a really weird way. I only met the man twice. He never knew my name, but he had such a big impact on me. He means so much to me. He had such, without him, we never get here, without question. And I just, in a weird way, I feel like I just like I have to carry, like I need to tell everybody I know about Children about him. I need to constantly let everybody know about his music, because he was our metal fucking Hendrix, as far as I'm concerned. Like the one that was pure, metal. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, never did anything else. Was just metal. Like, he was our fucking Hendrix. To me, he was the next Randy Rhoads. He was our Hendrix. He was, likened to Eddie Van Halen. To me. You can argue about whatever the fuck you want, but to me, this man was in my heart in that way. And damn it. I don't know what else to say. This is day one. And I'm glad we're doing this today. And I'm glad we're doing this today. I'm glad this is happening right now.
Yeah.
It's just it's helping me. I already feel better. I feel less numb, that's for sure, even with the booze.
It's something I wish I would have had when all those other things were happening.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mitch and Paul. And it's something, you know, and knowing this now, doing this right now, it's like, oh, this is something that we'll be able to have in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like when other things happen. There are certain things that I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Like,
yeah. Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. But hey, man, like, you know, like you said, we've been going at this for a while. You want to,
yeah, we got to wrap this up, man. This has gone on way longer than I expected. I hope anybody that's watching this right now appreciates it.
And even if, like, honestly, like, because I'm sure, like, if you're coming across this and you haven't really, like, been paying attention to Bodum before, like, seriously, like, they're a band that is so unique. And they were so important to what was happening during the time when, like, Lamb of God was big, when the time when, like, you know, they were, and that's kind of why I say when they were very overlooked, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And if nothing else, like, you know, just take the time to really, like, you know, to try to get into some of their music, to try to, like, you know, and even if you don't, like, you know, it's the fact of, you know, like, it's just keeping the legacy alive, man. Like, it's that side of, like, you know, like, because it's, you know, it's very much the same as, like, you know, the Slipknot thing. It was very much the same as, like, you know, and like I was saying earlier, it was as close to Pantera, like, modern, that we've ever seen. Really, like, as far as this kind of situation and stuff. And it's just like if nothing else, like, this really says to me that, like, you know, it's very important to appreciate the legends that you have and the legends that we have still currently going, you know, like, that's why like, in a lot of ways, like, you know, like, it's why I stuck with the AC/DC episode. Because I felt like they were a band that, like, you know, I mean, that's something to celebrate, you know. And really, like, what I've taken from this is, like, you know, celebrate the, you know, the big shit, you know, celebrate the bands that are still around, you know, while you can.
Everyone that you love that's still alive, never miss a chance to see them.
Yeah. And we really, like, honestly, you know, not to keep this going too long, but, like, really, like, one of the big things that I took from last year, from 2019 specifically, well, I guess 2 years ago, really, Jesus, was the fact that, like, you know, there were a lot of times where I was, like, you know, where I just kind of skipped out on things and you know, like, had the chance to see bands or, like, just see, you know, just, like, my friends, like, play shows and just appreciate what was going on and stuff. And, like, really, like, this is just another chance to just kind of reiterate that.
Another reminder.
Yeah, man. It's a huge reminder to, like, you know.
Never
like,
miss it.
Yeah, because it could be the last time, you know.
But, like, it's not even that, like, yes, it could be the last time, but even if it's not,
yeah,
when it is, how much more is that time going to mean to you?
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel right now. It's like, I had no idea.
It's been a big lesson.
I had no idea that Hexed tour was going to be the last time that I saw them.
Yeah.
Like, I was until today, I was fully anticipating a Bodum After Midnight show this summer.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see Alexi again.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's just gone.
Yeah.
Like,
It's heavy, man.
he just meant so much to me. So always see the fucking shows. If someone you love comes to town, no excuses. Okay? No excuses. Fucking return bottles. Fucking do whatever the fuck you gotta do to get the fucking money. I've done that. All right? You're listening to someone who's returned fucking cans to get tickets to a show. Like, I've fucking done everything I can to get to. Overcame a flat tire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything I can to get to the show to see the shit that I love. And it was already solidified after the year we all just experienced, where there are no live shows. But now, like, losing Alexi, it's now like, I don't know how to. It's now like I don't know. I can't remember what the word is, but it means the same thing, but it's a different word as destiny. Like, I don't have a choice anymore. It's no longer a choice. It's you go no matter what. You have to see this no matter what. Like, because if I hadn't seen every show I could have in the time I started being able to go to shows with seeing Alexi, I would regret every single one so intensely. And there are still so many others that I love in the way that I love him, that it's there's no fucking way. And now I'm even, after this, I'm now even to the point where it's like, I mean, if they don't come to Michigan, but if they come to Illinois or Ohio or Wisconsin, then we're still probably gonna go. Like, I'm at that point now, and I've never been at that point before.
Yeah, I remember we always used to talk about that, but never like really, you know, for one reason or another, like as far as like traveling for shows.
The only time I've ever seen a show out of Michigan is Iron Maiden in Illinois, at the Allstate Arena, and we drove down there, watched them, drove back that same night. Mm. It was like a 3.5, 4 hour drive. It was amazing. But now, you know, the game has changed. Alexi's gone, and that changes the game for me. That changes the game for me in a way that it's never been changed. He changed the game again. From guitar playing and vocals, even in death, he changes the game. And for me, as someone who loved him in the way I did, and do, and always will always carry on his legacy. If I ever have kids, their favorite band will be Children of Bodom. I will fucking undeniable. But yeah, man. I don't know how to end this. I don't know how to end this because I'm just beginning this process.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to end this podcast.
Well, I will say that the only way that I know how to is by a proper salute, a proper respect. You know what I mean?
Did I already pour the Jaeger?
Yes, you did.
Oh shit.
and it's just a proper, like, you know, just thank you, man. Like, because there is no way to really, and that is the hardest part, man. Like, that is really, truly the hardest part.
Yeah. It's just
Is there's no real way to say, like, thank you for the time and for just the art and for the, you know what I mean?
And
Like,
for the
there's
fact-
no,
for the fact that he doesn't even know what he did for us.
yeah, like, you know, it's a very sensitive thing, and I feel like before we get too deep into it, we should probably wrap it up.
Probably.
So like, and I guess I will kind of carry this out because I kind of carried the intro of it. For anybody that was watching, for anybody that was really like, you know, and if you are like, we would, like, no matter what, we would absolutely love to have, you know, just like, if you have any memories of Bodum, if you have any memories of meeting Alexi, if you had any time to just, you know, to just, like, if you saw any shows with him, like, if you saw any Bodum shows that were just, like, stuck out in your head.
Were you
Like-
at any Michigan shows
Yeah.
in the past 12 years?
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, man.
Please.
We want to know stories, man. Like, that's,
please. It would mean the fucking world.
yeah.
I'm
Like,
I'm so serious.
Within your point of just wanting to just carry on the legacy, man. Like, we would love to hear, just anytime you've seen them, anytime that, like, anything is significant has happened while you've listened to them, like, for real. Like, you know, it's because, you know, this is in, like, we started off the episode kind of saying, like, this was something that we didn't plan to do, and it's very true. Like, you know, this is something that, like, we don't really have many words for.
This is off the cuff.
Yeah, and like, if you have any memories, if you have any, like sincerely, like, please, you know, like comment, post, anything, like, because we would absolutely love to do, you know, maybe we'll do, like, a follow-up episode or something
Yeah.
of, like, you know, just, like, past this episode, like, you know, because it's very, like, you know, it's
Good idea.
it's a very real time. It's a very real subject. It's a very, like, you know, and kind of, like, calling back to what I was saying, like, you know, like, I've had moments in my life where I've, you know, where I've experienced, like similar things, but nothing quite like this. Nothing like where I felt like a whole kind of legacy was kind of left to kind of, like, into kind of some, like, weird obscurity, you know, and that is really, at this point, kind of the last thing that we would want for Bodum, for Alexi, for, you know, and I don't know.
And this podcast will forever keep them alive.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just that spirit of, like, you know, the fucking hate crew, with the spirit of anything that's happened, man. Like, it's, you know, you can't deny the, like, I don't know. It's just, it's so underrated, and it's so, like, just underappreciated at this point, that, like, I really feel like if you have anything to say, if you have any, like, just, you know, feel free, honestly, like, because we probably feel the same, you know,
Send
like, this
in
is,
your stories.
yeah, like, this is, you know, this is tough, man. Like, this is this wasn't an episode that we wanted to make, but this was one that we felt like,
This wasn't one we even planned on. This
Yeah.
is literally, Aaron came over, and I threw out this idea of, let's sit down in front of the mics and just let this shit out.
yeah,
And he was like, okay.
yeah, because I needed it too, man. Like, admittedly, because I didn't really know how to feel about it. Like, I didn't know how to, you know, like, it just, it's such, and really, like, it's such a unique experience, man. Like, it's such
It's for me too. This is the first time,
you know,
you know, Dio was of the old guard. Dime was
Mhm.
of the old guard, for me, at least.
yeah,
You know, so many were of, you know, this was the first one that I felt like was in my, like, this is my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is the first one I felt like was mine.
yeah,
And now, and like you said, it's not just a person. It's a legacy.
yeah,
And so this one is hitting me in a way that I've never felt before.
yeah,
And I'm gonna have to find a way to work through it. But this definitely helped. I'm glad
Oh,
we
yeah.
did this.
Helped
and,
me too,
And
for
we
sure.
probably will do a follow up. or if there's something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe we'll do it like an in memoriam on the Filthy 15 or something.
We might have to at this point, man.
Yeah. I don't know, but
Yeah. Regardless, like,
that's
thank you, like, in
where are we at?
we are at about an hour and a
Jesus
half,
Christ.
2.5 hours.
Oh my God! I
But-
thought this was gonna be a half
so-
hour long.
So did I. But to wrap it up from me, because I know I'm the silent type. From me, like, sincerely, thank you for watching this. If you have, for being a part of this, and this is not the way that we intended the year to start off, but I guarantee that, like, you know, we have a lot of ideas coming up as far as the end of the year, as far as the 2020 episode, as far as, like, you know, but all of that aside, man, like, take the time to really, and I'm saying this mostly for the ones that are watching and for us, really, like, you know, and for me, like, take the time to really appreciate the legends and the you know, the people that are significant to you, and the ones that have really, like, you know, whether it be in music or whether it just be, like, just general life, man, like, just cherish that, because you never know when the last time you know, and like, you know, it's, and I'm only saying this because it was so sudden, but regardless, like, you know, there's something definitely to be said about the fact that, like, you know, you can always take the time to appreciate, you know, just the ones that are really paving the way, man, and much like how I felt about, like, Paul Gray, much as, you know, how I felt about, you know, Jeff Hanneman and any of the other bands that have left behind a legacy from tragedy, man. Like, it's something that unfortunately has been kind of hit on a few more times than I would like. You know, just really try to cherish that, man, and
Never miss a live show.
yeah. Because that is, and honestly, like, that's something that, like, since the whole pandemic thing, and I don't mean to keep taking this on too long, but, like, you know, since the whole pandemic thing, since the whole, like we've been hit pretty hard as far as, like, 2020 is concerned, because this did happen either the last week of 2020 or the last, like, within December, I would say.
Like, either, yeah, like, they said it happened last week, so
Yeah.
who's to know if it happened before New Year's or after?
Yeah. And I just, you know,
and we're recording this right now on January 4th.
yeah,
Just so everybody knows.
you know, so it's,
And I found out about this at 5 a.m. this morning. It's currently 10:56 p.m.
yeah. So it's, you know, just, that's really all I can say. Like, just, you know, for myself, for BJ, for everybody, like, just try to, you know, like to me, when shows come back, when things start getting back to normal, whatever that means, whatever that entails, I don't fucking know, because everything's weird right now, and I feel like it's going to be strange when shows open back up, because I feel like we're just going to have a bunch of odd restrictions, but I don't feel like it will take away from the fact that, like, you know, live music, man, like, we need it. We need people, like, we need art. Like, people need art. Like, myself included, man. Like, I've been in a space where I've been very, you know, uninspired, and then all of a sudden, within the last, like, few months or so, I've been very inspired, and then this kind of came about, and it only, I feel like, in a lot of ways, it only, like, elevated that for me. Like, it very, like, in, you know, on a very personal note, like, it very, you know, it kind of changed the way I look at putting things out, and it kind of changed the way, you know, that I look at, you know, just, like, the middle time, you know, like, just what's happening around me, you know, just kind of being present with things, and the fact that, like, you know, we lost somebody today, or you know, recently, I guess is better put, that really kind of paved the way in a lot of in a big way, you know, and like in kind of to your point, like seeing all the response and seeing, you know, everybody that was in the metal community, like, you know, kind of react to this, like, you know, it's beautiful, and it reminds me kind of why I do this, you know, it reminds me why I'm still into this, you know, and it's all very personal, like it's all very like, you know, you have to kind of give that kind of praise to people that deserve it, and I feel like in a lot of ways Bodum really deserve more, and this is kind of our way of saying thank you, you know, kind of our way of giving that appreciation, you know, and trying to work through this. And I don't think either of us really saw the year starting off with this but I will say that, like, you know, it's man.
And honestly, I'm even down to have a yearly Bodum tribute show.
100%, yeah.
Like, I don't like this
Yeah.
this is a legacy that I think needs to be carried on.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like, to me, it's as significant as like Dime, as
Yeah.
like,
yes.
you know,
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
you can't deny it, man. Like, just the songwriting, the like just the impact it had on the metal scene, like just the like how different it was, man. Like just how different it was from like literally anything else that was coming out. Like the fact that, like, you know, Lamb of God was big, and that was even different. You know, even like, you know, like Slipknot was big, and like in a lot of times, like, you know, I mean more so like In Flames even. But I would say that like when they were big and when they were doing bigger things, like they were like, Bodum was a band that always just stuck to their guns, that always really like just had that style, man. And like, and even still, like even in their later records, you know, like I you know, I remember saying earlier, like I'm in a bit of a like a rediscovery period in a sense, because I hadn't really listened to the band in a long time, and like a lot of times, and I guess like the biggest thing that I can relate it back to is Riley Gale from Power Trip, because they were a band that I wasn't super familiar with, but you know, after the passing of it, and you know, after the passing of Riley and after everything that happened, like I understand now, you know, and maybe there are certain people that feel that same way, you know, that hear of like, oh, like Alexi Laiho passed, like, you know, he's like,
and they
you
go
know,
back and listen to, and they're like, holy shit.
yeah, you know, and like I really,
Just like the way I was with Mitch.
yeah, dude, I really truthfully feel like his passing will bring about people that will get into it and be like, holy fuck, like this is like,
And I hope they carry the fucking flag harder,
yeah,
and more people get aware of this music.
yeah,
And according to the band, at least 3 songs for Bodum After Midnight were recorded, and 1 music video, and those will be released who knows when, but posthumously.
yeah,
Um
as they said,
so we
Yeah.
will get at least 3 more tracks and a music video for 1 of those tracks.
Mhm.
So we do still have at least a little bit of Alexi left to hear,
yeah,
which I am. I hope. I hope they release it on a physical copy. I will buy every piece of merch. Like I just like I said earlier, man. I can't name a single musician that has had more influence on me than Alexi Laiho, personally. He is and always will be my number 1, and I will never stop. I will never stop trying to sound like him, dress like him. It's just, he's the one for me, man. Like I love him,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and I'll never stop loving him. and I don't know how to deal with the fact that I'll never see him live again or meet him again or get the chance to say what I want to say to him again. But
Yeah.
I did get to see them more than 15 times. I got to meet him twice. And I will forever cherish those memories.
So with that, we would like to end. And,
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up.
You know, if you're watching this towards the end of it, like, I know this is probably the most you've ever heard me talk, but thank you. Like, this has been a hard one for us. Like, this has been, and honestly, like, you know, it's been a hard day, man. Like this is.
Yeah, we expected to hang out tonight and just listen to the albums we loved of 2020, and we probably still will because it's not that late.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
But
you know, it really goes without saying that, like, you know, we really feel like, you know, and I think that, like, in talking about it earlier and in, like, you know, trying to, like, plan this all out and stuff, like, we really think that like, in doing this and in just showing our respect for it, that, like, this is the best possible thing we could have done.
And in a way, I was like, I'm sitting here like, I was sitting here all day like some points feeling sad, at some points just feeling numb, like I didn't really know what to do with it. So I was like, what if we just turn on the mics and just let it out, and see what happens? I don't know, but I mean, this is what happened. So I'm definitely, this is definitely coming out. This is and we didn't expect this episode to happen. This wasn't a thing that we planned. This was a spur of the moment. I don't really know what to say other than I will for the rest of my life fly the flag of Alexi Laiho and do my best and try everything I can to carry on his legacy in the best way that I can, because he has influenced me in ways that very few others have, and he just will always mean the world to me. And I'm fortunate enough to have seen him as many times as I have, and to have met him a couple times, and those memories I will forever cherish. And I don't know. His music is everything to me.
Yeah, and really, like, listen to fucking Children of Bodom, for real. Like, if you haven't, if you are new to this, if you're just now like, dude, I like, there are certain bands that I wish I could go back and listen to for the first time again. Like, there are bands that, like, I'm jealous that people get to discover for the first time. Really, like, they're kind of one of those bands. Like,
and I'll never forget the first time I heard Children of Bodom.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I was. I remember what the song was. It was Are You Dead Yet?
Yeah.
I know where I was.
Yeah.
I can't really talk about it, but it was amazing. My friend Travis and co-founder of the show Preston are the ones that showed it to me, and yeah, I'll never forget it. And I ended up sinking in, and they became one of my top 3. So I just can't believe he's gone. I can't believe he's gone. I still can't believe it. I'm still trying to settle it. But this episode is in honor of who, to me, is one of the greatest metal men in history. And this will probably not be the last time we talk about him, but this is the first night we learned of his passing, and this is how we felt we should, kind of work through it. Like, we were already going to hang out tonight anyway, so why not just kind of sit down and talk about this together, because they've had such an impact on us, and they've had such an impact on so many, and Alexi was one of the single greatest frontmen, greatest vocalists, and, in my opinion, the greatest modern metal guitarist of all time. So, to honor a man who deserves nothing less and so much more, here's to you,
Hey, man.
Alexi Laiho.
Wherever you are. To the real fucking hate
In
crew.
the halls of Valhalla with Oden.
To the real fucking hate crew.
To the real motherfucking hate crew! Come on.
Cheers.
I don't,
Would you like me to end this?
go for it.
All right. Whew. That moonshine is fucking got me going. All right. So in any case, like, the only thing that I could possibly say as far as ending this, because it's very bitter, like, very somber episode, is just, kind of what I was saying. Wherever you are, thank you. Like, sincerely. Because, like, you have influenced so much of this, and I only wish that when our paths crossed, and when, and I'm sure kind of the same way, like, that we could have just been able to give that kind of appreciation, because, and really it's kind of changed the way that I give appreciation to artists and to bands that I love, and really, like, more so this last year even. I'm sure if you're watching this, if you reach this point, I know this has been a long one, a bit more than we realized it was going to be, but, like, I guess to you, thank you, because like, this is what it's all about, and I know that, like, whenever a big loss like this happens, whenever big news breaks, it's always tough to kind of deal with, and that's kind of why I brought up Mitch and I brought up Paul from Slipknot and everything, like, and it's because it's the only way that I know how to really, like, grieve. It's really the only way that, and much like this, it's the only way that we know how to kind of get past it. And so if you're feeling the same way we are, if you're feeling the same kind of, just overall just kind of bummed, because it's tough to deal with. We would absolutely love if you put in the comments any memories about them, anything that you could think of, any time that they've, if you're a true fan, or even if you're just, like, casual fan that you just saw them, like, we would love to hear your stories. We would love to hear just anything that has happened in the last, like, couple years that is significant to Bodum, or just Alexi, if you ever met him, if you ever, just, like, we love that shit. So we would love to hear just your comments, your posts, and everything else like that. But beyond that, like, sincerely, I think from Burton and I, we would love to just say, thank you, Children of Bodum, thank you, Alexi, for the memories, for the music, for just leaving behind something that we can all really, really appreciate and really kind of take into, I mean, it is, January 2021, and which is already weird. So we would just like to say thank you for giving us something to kind of take into the new year and take into, just what's kind of been going on, because it's tough for both of us, but it's ultimately tough just as a loss, and it's never easy to deal with something as far as, as far as a real significant loss in the metal scene. and that is something that I feel like we all feel. So with that, thank you. I hope you've all taken something from this. I hope, and even if you haven't, I hope that you discover their music through this, because that is how we keep Alexi's, legacy alive, and that's how we keep Bodum alive. That's how we keep Bodum going. So if you would like to give your staple, if you would like to, somehow pull this out of, but I would just like to say thank you, on behalf of BJ and I, just Bodum. If you even have the chance to see this, I'm sure we'll tag you. I'm sure, if you even,
will, but
yeah,
I don't know if they ever will.
yeah, but if you do, thank you, because your band, your music, what you guys have done has really impacted us in a big bad way, and I think that
without Children of Bodom, this podcast never exists.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So. And I can never thank them and Alexi enough for making that music to inspire me and us in the way that it did. It's everything to me. It's the it's the go-to music to get inspired or pumped up. It's like, if I need something, I know I can go to this right here.
Yeah.
And it's been that for so long, and I followed them so closely. Never missed a show in the state of Michigan, in the United States, since 2008. So for 12 years, I've seen them in between 15 and 20 times. I can't remember the exact number. Met them twice. They will. I can't believe I've had that experience. Because when I first started going to shows, I thought meeting bands was out of the question. You know what I mean? And then
yeah, for sure.
And then I got to meet them, and it just meant the world to me. They're very cool. And yeah, even after the second time we met them, where it was the day after St. Patrick's Day, so they were probably hungover.
Yeah.
And they were still cool as fuck. It was.
Yeah, man. I will never forget that experience.
Neither will I.
Because it was so just different from anything else that I'd done before.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we got shuttled in early and
yeah.
shit. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to say my piece. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to say.
That what I just said was it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting, but I'm sure I'll get to it in a future episode. But I didn't expect this one to go on this long. I even halfway expected to post this in the LITD Clips channel. Because I expected it to be shorter, but
yeah.
it didn't end up that way.
Yeah.
And
well, that's how much this band really means to us.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And I can't deny the fact that they have made a significant impact on me. I can't deny the fact that because it's the live show. It's the it's how many times I've seen them, and it's been insane. No matter what was happening.
Yeah.
No matter what I knew was going on in the prior,
yeah.
It was always just a show that I was just in awe of, really. They were just able to just pull it together, and whether or not any of this was going on when we were seeing them, it's a true testament to the band and how they are about just putting together just a stellar live show. So yeah, that's about all I got, really.
And I guess the last thing I have to say is, rest in power, Alexi. You were the single greatest musical influence on me, musically and personally, stylistically, that I've ever had. And sitting here right now, I don't know what a world without you looks like. So, yeah, that's really all I got to say. So let's wrap this one up. I'll say this. Everybody listen to Children of Bodom
Fuck yes.
and keep an eye out for the final tracks of Alexi coming soon. There's a new video and at least 3 more tracks from Bodom After Midnight. And I'm going to end this one by saying, you are the real motherfucking Hates Crew! We love you all to death! Good night! What is up, Hate Crew? I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a tough one. We didn't expect that to even, like, we didn't expect that night to go that way. We didn't even expect to record an episode. Nothing. Like, we just sat down. We didn't expect it to go that long, certainly, or anything. But I'm sitting here talking to you right now, maybe 3 or 4 days after we recorded that. And it's been a rough week. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And you know what? I was thinking, I had this idea. Okay? That's why I'm sitting here talking to you right now. I had this idea. Because one of the things that has really been helping me personally has been watching old concert footage that I took. And if you go to the Lost in the Dark Instagram and go to our, I don't know what the fuck it is, like the memories section or whatever, where all the little bubbles are, where you can go and click on different videos and stuff. I went a little batshit crazy with that, and there's tons and tons of concert footage in there, including a Children of Bodom show. And so I had some other, even older footage, like on my computer and stuff from old cell phone footage. And it was really helping me a lot, like, get through it, like, just remembering the times that I got to see them live and everything. So I thought, you know what? What if I shared at least the halfway decent ones? And so that's what I'm jumping in here right now to introduce. We got 2 sets of clips. The first one that you're about to see is from Children of Bodom here at the Majestic Theater on November 19th, 2017. The Majestic Theater, the beautiful Majestic Theater in Detroit, Michigan. There's the ticket right there. The 20-year anniversary tour, the 20 years down and dirty tour. Children of Bodom at the Majestic. Sunday. It was a Sunday. Oh, wow. November 19th, 2017. Down there in Detroit on Woodward. So that is what you're about to see. That's the first clips. Very short, honestly. Not very long at all. The second set of clips are a little bit longer. But, man, like, this is a tough one. This really is a tough one. Like, how much this guy fucking influenced me is insane. Like, I've had this, I don't have any tattoos, but I've had this idea for a tattoo since I was like 16 or 18. So for like almost half my life now, I've wanted this tattoo, and it is totally unique. I've never seen anybody else do this, really. But I'm not saying nobody else has. I'm just saying I've never seen it. And part of it is, like, it's not the same at all, but it's slightly influenced, like, how I want it to kind of finish. I want it to, like, go down on my hands a little bit, like Alexi's snake tattoos. Not snakes, it's actually chains, but I kind of, like, I had that idea of, like, I kind of want it to look like Alexi's a little bit. And, like, even my fucking facial hair. I started growing facial hair because I wanted the Alexi fucking soul patch, but this shit never grows in enough or, like, dark enough or anything. It's so blonde. So like even that in a way was like so many things. And you know, I haven't watched back that episode yet. It's gonna take me a minute, but I am gonna watch it back. But one thing I do remember saying was like, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna show you these old pictures of myself. A, those pictures are on my fucking open to the public Facebook. Like, I don't have a private Facebook. And B, fuck that. It's not embarrassing at all. It was fucking badass, dude. Like, emulate who you love. And then you evolve it just like they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like they did. So, I don't know. I just had a couple, I don't know. I just can't stop talking about it. I can't stop talking about him. I can't stop watching interviews. My news feed, even 3 days later, is still just nothing but Alexi. It's amazing. It's amazing. I really want to get his book. I really want to know more about his life. Like, I guess his sister was the one that kind of got him into metal. And he was like playing a bunch of different instruments before that, but he picked up the guitar at like 11, and then they were already on tour by the time he was like 18ish. Like, insane. Like, somebody definitely, we need a fucking movie. We need a fucking biopic, however you say that, about Alexi for sure. Like, and you know, the rest about him, of course. Like a maybe I would almost want it to be longer though. So maybe like a 3-part series. It's kind of like The Dirt, but it's children of Bodom. You know, I don't know. It'd be awesome. But in any case, I'm just here to quickly end off this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope everybody's okay. I hope you know, my everything, just all my positive energy, everything just goes out to, you know, his friends, his family, and you know, all the rest of us fans that are feeling this right now. It's a big one. So without further ado, I would like to introduce right now the second to last time Aaron and I got to see Children of Bodom live at the Majestic Theater in Detroit in 2017. Enjoy.
Holy shit, you guys are fucking beautiful. Thank you so much.
Fairly short, right? Not too long, but fucking awesome. That Hate Crew, come on. Like, so fucking awesome. Like, I also love the part where like he's playing next to the keyboardist and he puts his arm over him for a second. Like, it was always one of my favorite parts of the shows when Alexi would interact with him. Yeah, man, So amazing. So amazing. All right. These next clips are going to be a little bit longer. This is from the last time we saw them. Also, the last time that we got to meet them when we did the VIP thing that we talked about earlier. And when Aaron read that set list, you're about to see some of what we saw that night off that set list. I'll show you the ticket. Children of Bodom, St. Andrew's Hall in Detroit, Michigan. Monday, March 18th, 2019. Just barely even 2 years ago. Oh, God. It's coming up on 2 years. Wow. We got to meet them. It was amazing. It was an amazing, amazing night. No question. Never. Completely unforgettable. Completely unforgettable. It's the fucking. It's where. I know I already showed this to you in the fucking episode, but it's where we got the fucking VIP badges. Like, it's where we got the hexed posters signed. It's, yeah, like, it was an absolutely fucking insane experience. And one that we will never forget. Never forget. This set of clips, I can't remember how long it is, but I feel like it's almost like 15 minutes long, honestly. And it's a lot of the set list, and it's what you'll see, honestly. And this was kind of painstaking, I'm not gonna lie. It's all the fucking clips that you'll see in the fucking memories on Instagram. So it's essentially like somewhere around 60 15-second long clips strung together. And I had to sit here and fucking get them all in order and fucking all that shit. So I know it, you know, every 15 seconds or so it might be choppy for a second, but it should be good. I still think it's cool. It's about 15 minutes of their set or so, their hour-long set or so. So, I mean, and it's the last time they were ever in Michigan. It's the last time they were ever in Michigan, and I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking heartbreaking when he walks off stage and says something like, you know, "See you next time" or something. Absolutely heartbreaking in a way. But the show was fucking amazing. His playing was perfect. Like, everything was phenomenal. The house was fucking packed. Packed, I tell you. Detroit loves Alexi. Detroit loves Bodom. So yeah, I guess without further ado, here are my final clips that I want to share with you guys of seeing Bodom for the last time back in March of 2019 at St. Andrew's Hall in Detroit, Michigan. Enjoy, Hate Crow!
that we never played here before. True story, never. Actually, we never played that song anywhere in the States before. So would you like to hear that fucking thing? Alright, well, again, let's give it a shot. And let's see what happens. Yeah! Y'all start. Hear your fucking thing.
Let's go! I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I just showed you guys the first time they ever played the Prepare for War song, If You Want Peace, Prepare for War, in the United States. Come on! Come on! Like, I'm sure there's footage of that online elsewhere, but man, come on. How fucking awesome was that? Such a great track. Such an amazing show. I just wanted to jump in one more time real quick to just thank everybody so much. Anybody who's watched this all the way to the end, you are my fucking hero. And so is Alexi. And this is a big one. This is a tough one. And my thoughts go out. Every ounce of positive energy that I have goes out to anyone else affected by this, especially his close friends and family, the other members of Bodom After Midnight and Children of Bodom, and his family members, and then the rest is for us fans, all of us fans that are hit so hard by this one. And I see all of you. I see all of you on that Bodom After Midnight Facebook page. You're the ones filling my feed. I read everyone. I've been sitting there reading every single person's post all the way through. I want to hear everybody's memories, because it just like it's so touching to me to see this reaction. I had no idea. I'm sitting there up here in fucking buttfuck Lansing, Michigan, fucking one of the only hardcore Bodum fans that I know. You know, there aren't many, and I had no idea. You know what I mean? So it's so unbelievably touching to me to see all this, to be a part of the fucking hate crew, be a part of the community. It really has been helping, and you know, don't stop it, guys. I'm talking directly to these Facebook people. It's one positive. I know most people just talk shit about the shit they see on Facebook, but this, the Bodum After Midnight page, which used to be just the hate crew, but now it's the Bodum After Midnight. The Blasphemes page, like, these are very positive outlets. And I'm gonna post this. This is the only thing I'm ever gonna. I never post episodes to groups. I don't want to you know what I mean? I don't want to be that, you know, I just feel weird about that for some reason. I just post it to the Lost in the Dark chant, you know, pages on the social media, and that's it. But this one I'll throw out there because I'm talking directly to you guys right now, because you guys have helped me a lot this week. And I made a big long post that I shared on there. You guys have helped me a lot this week get through this, so I thank you all. All of you for sharing your stories and everything. Really means a lot to me. And anybody still watching this right now, you're the real motherfucker. I fucking love you. So that's going to be it. That's going to be it for this one. I'm going to end this a little bit differently. You know, as always, we got a lot more coming. We got the Filthy 15. I'm finally feeling ready to get back on the mic and just let loose about some fucking music that we love. But that'll be coming soon. But and then a lot more after that. We got a big year planned. So 2021, grabbing it by the fucking horns. But until next time, everybody, I love you all to death. And we are the fucking Hates Crew! And we stand, and we will never fucking fall. Love you to death. Good night!